welcome to Shapes and Forms. I am joined today by returning after a long absence, Yaren.
Hi.
And we will be joined by Shredney shortly. Shredney Vashtar shortly, not Shredney shortly, who I guess would be like someone else related to... Anyway, yeah, we're going to play games today. We are not going to be juggling or singing show tunes. We are going to be playing some video games.
Wait. Are you sure we can't sing show tunes?
No. It's against the Twitch terms of service.
Darn Twitch.
Am I making a joke? Am I being serious? He'll never know. Alright, let me get Heavy Bullet set up here. I bought this game in a sale the other day for $2. It's good. I like it.
Playing Heavy Bullets.
Yeah. Well, we're playing that for now. We'll probably play something else later, but I don't know what. I didn't realize this was randomized every time, the little opening narration here. I also forgot to drop a link in the Discord chat, so let me do that real quick before I actually start the game.
Okay, so how does this screen share work?
Oh, I forgot to turn it on. That's my bad. Hold on. Alright, yeah, so basically I just click this button right here, and this button right here, and now you should be able to see my screen.
Magical.
I do not have the chat up on this screen, but I have it up on my other laptop, so I can see it. Alright, I don't know why you always start out pointing up at the sky, and I don't know why it's suddenly lagging so badly, and why
it's a metaphor.
The frickin' thing is out of whack. Let me try reducing the resolution.
The lag is also a metaphor.
Let me try... Why do these buttons both just decrease the resolution and cycle through it instead of one being down and one being up as you would expect? That's very strange. No, I don't want to go full screen either. My goodness. Okay, well now I have chat up on my screen. Good lord. Okay. It's still lagging a little bit. This game has never had any latency problems for me before. No stuttering, no nothing. Well, we'll work through it. Can you see everything okay?
Yeah, more or less.
Alright.
It's a lot better than like Twitch streaming.
Yeah. No delay for one. Oh, I found an item already. What is this? Small ore. I don't know what this is.
Vendor trash.
Yeah, probably something you sell to the machines.
Delicious vendor trash.
So Heavy Bullets is a game, a first-person shooter in which there's a mechanic where your bullets actually physically fall to the ground and you need to pick them back up to reload your gun. It's an interesting little thing. This is the only...
That's turret.
Yeah, that's a turret down there. And these things are super annoying, especially when you face them down long hallways.
I didn't even know they could spawn down long hallways. Why do they do this?
Because sometimes RNGesus just doesn't like to play nice.
Okay, so for those of you watching at home, the turrets are unique.
Oh Christ! There's 3 of them in this room, and they blocked off my exit. Okay.
Because they cannot be damaged. You have to hit the power box, which is not the part that's aiming at you.
It's a little green bit.
Yeah. That is why they suck.
This is a really tough room for the very first one of the game. Am I safe here? I think so. No, guess not.
Nowhere is safe.
It's like it knows that I'm streaming it. It's starting to act up performance-wise, and it gives me a really hard room right off the bat. I have
Just
seen
little,
this one before, but not usually till like the second or third floor.
just little, performance anxiety.
Yeah, a little bit. Goodness gracious. Well, we're almost dead already, so that's a good start. I'm looking at the stream. It doesn't look, the lag doesn't look super bad on there, but I certainly notice it. Oh, medbay. Don't quite have enough for a heal yet, but that'll be useful in a little bit. Is there a snake in here? Have you played this game before?
Yes.
Yeah, there's another medbay over here. That's interesting. Then you know the dangers of lurking snakes in the grass.
Eh, they're just snakes.
I don't like them because they startle me. I actually find this game like rather nerve-wracking most of the time. What do we got here? Repellent. I don't know what that does.
Nerve-wracking, yes, but because of like turrets, not snakes.
Whoops! I accidentally.
Oh God!
I
Blow up.
accidentally blew up the bank. Whoops.
And money came out of it.
Yeah, they all do. I think. Like if you blow up any of the shop, like the vending machines.
This is great. I love this game
wait,
now.
Hold on. I forgot that I had promised somebody I would give them a link. I never remember to link to all the places at once. I always have to do at least one or two during the
Was
stream.
that Mary?
What?
Was that Mary Fan?
Who?
Mary Fan.
I don't know who that is, I don't think.
Cry Jam.
Oh, no, that was Gabrielle.
Huh. Very similar avatar. Anyways.
Yes. I often forget that you can see my entire screen.
Anyways, snakes.
Yeah, snakes.
Just so this is just a problem that is easily solved by constant, unending paranoia.
Yeah.
I have tons of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what the attitude I take as well. Every bush has a snake in it until proven otherwise. And another effing turret. Jeez. There we go. Look! There he is.
And now he's dead.
Yes. This is a former snake.
Snake.
Badger, 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 badger. Mushroom, mushroom, mushroom. Alright. Yeah, today's show came together pretty haphazardly. I didn't know what to play. I didn't know where my co-hosts were. These things happen sometimes.
I'm here. I'm always here.
Yes. Lurking.
I never left.
Yeah, you haven't been on the show since we went off the hiatus a few months ago.
Lost my headphones. Moved to a different place, which has crappy internet. Just was not in the mood for it. But everything seems to be holding up long enough to be good.
Yeah, it's your long-awaited return.
Don't call it a comeback. Been here for years. And that's what I'm saying, so we don't get hit by like
copyright strike. Yeah. Also, I forgot to change the name of the stream to reject the fact that it is no longer 2017. And I almost accidentally put in 2081 while typing that.
Oh, if only.
And I wonder what the world will be like in 2081. Something something flying cars. I always feel bad about shooting the imps because they're kind of cute.
Mhm.
Alright. I also really like how this game looks. It's very, neon.
3D hot 3D hotline Miami.
I think even more generally than that, it's just like, kind of got like a synthwave aesthetic going on. Or what's that one subreddit called? Outrun. Everything's all blue and pink.
Oh, this is new. I did not get here before.
Well, it's all random. I think they've added a couple like expansions to the rune set over the years, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. I think I just got attacked by a... Oh, no, it was a snake again. Okay.
Yeah, see, the snakes are only trouble when you're also fighting turrets, because you can't focus on turrets and snakes at the same time.
I don't know. Sometimes I just run into them. Well, and I run into them. Okay, and what will hopefully be the last adjustment to the stream I have to make today, I also just realized that I forgot to change the name of the game. We are not playing GeoGuessr.
If only.
Heavy Bullets. It's a video game developed by some people. Ah, okay. Alright. Let's... do some cyberpunk nonsense. You ever think about how this game is basically an interactive version of that old Inside Your Computer screensaver?
Which one?
The one that was called Inside Your Computer?
Okay, they come in spider format. That's interesting.
They're like spider bats. I don't quite understand them, honestly. I see you. You think that I don't see you, but I see you. Pop. That's another thing about this game. Almost everything dies in one hit. Now this one is like a rapid fire turret. Bomb bug. Hey, a knife. I don't really have a use for a knife. I think the knife in this game is kind of bad.
It really is. Like, when are you ever going to get within like melee range?
Well, the thing is that even if you do, like, you can just shoot anyway. And I guess the idea is that it saves you bullets, but you always just go pick your bullets back up. Be better served by just buying a few more, so you always have some on hand. I don't trust this grass.
Trust the grass.
Oh, this just goes back to where I was a minute ago. Okay. What do they got here? Running shoes, red potion. I will take the red potion, actually, because that will heal me. Yay. A little bit more expensive than a regular heal from a medbay, but that's alright. I don't know what we're going to play after this, so if you've got any requests, feel free to forward them to me. You or the audience, Yarn.
I'm thinking.
Thinking of a number between 1 and red.
The thing is that I've been playing some of C all day. It's kind of flushed out my mind, and we can't play some of the stream on stream. Sunless Sea on stream because it's slow.
It's very long, yeah. That would need like its own dedicated stream. Also, I kind of like I don't know. I sort of lost interest in Sunless Sea after a little while. I think I would have enjoyed it more if just like it was the exact same game, but the boats were faster. That's the only problem I had with it, really.
Yeah, it gets a lot better once you like upgrade the engine.
To like a faster ship, yeah. And I got to that point a few times, but I don't know. It is a good game, though. It's just not 100% my thing. It's certainly
I thought
better than the legions of like card-based roguelike fighters that seem to be taking over the market nowadays.
is that the new thing then?
Yeah, it's been like five of them, and they all have super generic names.
Ah,
Yeah, that was
bad thing.
yeah. The one that sticks out in my mind is Slay the Spire, but there's also one that takes place on a spaceship, and a couple other ones that have a more like dungeony setting. I don't really get it, to be honest with you. It's like trying
Huh.
to mix a roguelike and like a dedicated deck game, which I don't know. I guess I get the urge, but I'm not really into it.
The urge.
No. What is this? The detonator. I have never used this thing properly. Find those detonators. And down we go.
Well, speaking of 3D indie first person shooters, I tried what's it called? Fantasy Skulls for the
Oh,
first time this week.
that's a game that is actually rather similar to this, although it has
I know.
more like discrete rooms. The weird thing is that they came out around the same time, and as far as I know, like there wasn't any uh, like copying from one person to the other. It just kind of happened that way.
Like the basic revolver feels exactly the same.
Are there
So honestly,
are there other guns in Fancy Skulls, or is it also a game where you just have the
there are
pistol?
also there are other guns.
Okay,
You are unlikely to actually survive long enough to use them, but there are other guns.
interesting. The thing people tell me about Fancy Skulls, and the reason I bought this instead of that, is that it's apparently like not finished. Like it's abandonware apparently. Like the developer stopped working on it a couple years ago. That's what I've been told anyway. I don't know if that's true or not, but whereas this
Yeah,
is actually done.
I didn't get any of that.
Oh, sorry. No,
No. It's just a connection on my end.
what I said was the reason I got this and not Fancy Skulls was because ooh, I've never seen this before. Spiked helmet. All right. Um, people told me that a couple years ago the Fancy Skulls guy like stopped working on the game and it's like not finished.
Huh.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that from multiple people. So
Well, I'm still happy. Well, I'm still happy with what I have.
hmm.
A dollar 50 for demo is pretty good.
Pardon me.
Your
Yeah,
pardon.
I don't know. That's just the reason that I bought this instead. I'm sure Fancy Skulls is good too. This is apparently like oh, pardon me. Ah, did I kill it? I did kill it. Okay. I blame my allergies for that one. Hello, Heinz. Heinz, you have a different color on my two monitors. On the main one, you're purple. On the little one, you're red. Your name, I mean.
Hi, hi, Heinz.
Hi, hi, Hines. I hear a coin bouncing around somewhere. Where'd it go? There's a 1. I don't know where that one is.
And Heinz has weighed in with H. No, wait, it's hmm.
It's yes.
Hmm.
Ah. I guess that's what the spiked helmet does. But, yeah. Also, which is what H is my thing. I think I'm just gonna deposit my money and accept that this run is likely near its end. Bomb bug! Hate those things. I hate the little flickering effect when you're low on health.
Yes, it's
Those
the worst.
are annoying. I don't like those. Anyway, yeah, hi Heinz, we're playing Heavy Bullets, which is a game about shooting a gun with heavy bullets. Uh-oh, I heard... There it is, okay.
Hmm.
This one was also published by Digital Devolver, so maybe there's more to the 3D Hotline Miami comparison than I gave you credit for. Digital Devolver are responsible for publishing a lot of good video games. Also
It's
quite...
all conspiracy.
What? What's up? I died. What'd you say a minute ago, Yarn? Yarn?
You can hear me.
Nope. Are you there now?
Yes?
Yeah, I said something about Digital Devolver, and then you said something, and I wasn't sure what you said.
Conspiracy.
Ah.
Yeah, I went down to like one bar for a moment.
Yeah, it happens. Digital Devolver has also published some bad games, though. It was that one about the guy with the basketball for a head that nobody really liked.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. I don't even remember the title of it, but I remember watching some gameplay footage of it and just thinking it kind of looked stupid.
I'm thinking about like, what was the clown game?
The clown game.
Like, this really weird point-and-click game.
Oh, you don't mean Dropsy the Clown, do you?
Dropsy.
No, people like that
No,
game.
I do. I did too. It's just really, really weird.
Oh yeah, well, definitely weird. It's a game about, like, not judging a book by its cover and saying similar things like that.
It is a book about a clown who hunts people.
Yes.
A game, not a book. A
Well,
game.
what do you think about it? A game is like a book that you can play. Wait, no, other way around. A book is like a game that you can... No, a game is like a book that you can play. Secrets. High heels.
Shreddy.
I don't know what these... Hello?
Hello.
Ferret!
Hi.
Hello, can you see the screen okay?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I just got in from walking the dog.
And boy,
Yeah.
are my arms
Wait,
tired.
wait. You went outside?
Yes, I have to on a
You poor
regular
thing.
basis. Yes. And what's even more amazing, you know what I saw? I'll have to tell my mom about this. Okay, so over on the part of our property is mostly woods, basically.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So, so setting aside the fact that there's this one area where I usually take the dog, which nearby the neighboring landscaping people have been chopping down our trees, which is definitely not legal, but that's kind of immaterial. In that area, I noticed when I was sort of patrolling the area with the dog, right?
Yes.
I mean, like, but also because she likes the area. I decided to move away from there very quickly because I noticed, looking up, and I think I'd seen it before but not really registered it, that one of the trees had broken in half, like halfway up, had broken, and was leaning against another tree and was gently creaking in the wind above my head.
Yeah, that just sounds horrible.
Yeah,
Extremely cursed.
A
that
game is
was that.
basically just a play.
Them cursed feels.
That'd be a good name for this episode. Yeah, I was telling
That's it.
Yaren, and also Chat earlier that like I kind of forgot to organize a docket this week, so we're just sort of playing whatever.
Yay, cool.
I'm playing this, which I got the other day in the Winter Steam sale.
$2.50.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I haven't yeah, it's like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, okay, I'm connected now and seeing all the things and the thing, and what on earth is this?
It's
This is,
Hotline Miami 3D edition.
no, it's Heavy Bullets. What's the name
That's
of the
what I
game?
said.
It's very, very synthwave looking, right?
Yeah, it is like very. Yeah, it is decidedly. You know, I always found the term synthwave kind of annoying, but now that I understand that it's like what it specifically talks about, like I kind of get it. Because it's not like about like synthy new wave music, which was what it was originally used to describe, which is like has always kind of got on my nerves. But it like nowadays it refers more to like like retro futurist synth driven music.
Yeah, and
And
that's a lot of people in that scene have started using the term outrun instead. Kind of
huh,
means the same thing. I don't know if you're familiar with the game Outrun, but that's what it takes. Like the name is taken from.
huh. I was not aware of either of those things, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a subreddit for it also,
huh.
which I can link
Yeah,
you later if you want.
that's reminding me of how you like told me about the unfortunate situation of what happened with Metro Song.
Yeah, the guy that owned the subreddit that it was like that community was based in basically got mad that people weren't giving him credit and took the site down. And now a lot of
Uh,
that music is lost forever.
that really
That's internet
blows.
for you.
Although, in learning about that, I did meet Steviosphere, who was a very cool person.
Who?
Steviosphere. Also, what name did they make Metro Song music under? Green Ideas, I think. I'll have to look it up again. But they make a lot of music. They released an album last year under the name Glaciar, and that record is really good.
Neat.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Do a lot of music and a lot of 3D visual stuff.
Cool. Recently I made a list. It's not even complete yet of all the albums from 2017 that I need to listen to actually get a good portrait of the kind of things that I would like or be interested in 2017. It has filled 2 pages of this composition book I have.
I made like an albums from the year that I liked list.
Yeah, I listed a bunch of the ones that I hadn't heard of that you had put down. Actually.
Like I know some of them you wouldn't like, but some of them I think you would. You would probably like that Milo album.
Yeah, I was I'd already listed Milo because he's been on my radar.
Mhm.
And I was and Clams Casino I'm already kind of like, but I was just curious by just some of the names and things and just threw them on there because they seemed interesting.
Yeah, Clams Casino, one of the most important beat makers of my generation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you told.
Literally invented cloud rap by himself.
hmm
That's
I'm just also yeah, like there are some things where like I didn't know that these people released albums in 2017. Like uh like I didn't know until very recently that Hell had dropped a new album that oh god, who else? Like I mean, I knew, pretty much nonstop that like people like, Igloo Ghost had, dropped his new album
Igloo
and
Ghost.
like, you know, everybody and their mom knows about like, well, I guess not everybody and their mom knows about like the new Billy Woods or something. But like,
uh, Armand
it's
Hammer?
yeah, and the Armand Hammer release I didn't know about until recently. That was
Yeah,
late
I
in the year,
never.
wasn't it?
Yeah, that was like late November. I didn't get around to that yet. I want to at some point, but I have to be in the mood for very heavy, very angry hip hop, from my understanding.
Oh yeah. But like yeah, like Uncommon NASA's album got a fair bit of talk about it. But ones that I didn't know, I had no idea that Duran Duran and Washed Out dropped albums in
Wait,
2017.
So can I ask
Gra-
you a
Glow Round?
clarifying question?
Uh-huh.
Are Duran Duran and Duran different bands?
Oh, very different. Duran
I
Oh,
are a
actually fucking hate
sorry.
that.
Uh
It's not your fault,
Duran
but
Duran are one of the seminal breakcore artists.
of course
oh.
they are. why would why would they be anything else? You know, uh, no. But faux anger aside, yeah, there were some good records from last. Actually, here, because we've already interrupted the stream like a billion times. What's one more? Let me pull up my album list of stuff that I liked last year for a minute. Then I can also lean back and give my hand a rest because it's starting to kind of hurt already.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
A Discord totally fucked me there.
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
What is going on with
I
your
know. I know.
with what are you doing now?
Yeah, so you missed the part where I said I've already interrupted this stream like a billion times, so I'm going to pull up my list of albums I liked from 2017.
Oh, cool. All right. Okay.
I
but
got
I was
48 of them on here.
oh wow. But yeah, like okay, what I was just saying was Duran were one of the sort of the original like they were really they were one of the big names in the short time that breakcore was actually relevant, but after that they pretty much dropped off the radar completely. And they have been releasing stuff, I think.
Hmm. I don't
Who
know.
seems to care?
I could never really. I don't know. Maybe this is sort of limited of me, but I don't like understand music that is. I don't even know what term you'd use. It's like polyrhythmic to the point where it's hard to follow any particular rhythm in it
Oh,
on a
yeah.
given listen.
Like it's yeah, breakcore is it's erratic is the term. Probably.
Yeah, yeah, I've come to the conclusion that it's just not my bag. But
Yeah, it's like I totally get that.
um, yeah, Washed Out released a record last year as well. Which
Yeah.
was pretty good if you like Washed Out records. Somebody sent me a
I
thing on
have
here.
heard some of their early stuff, and I actually really liked it. And I was like, I'd avoided them for a long time because, like,
Huh.
God, chillwave is such a fake genre.
No, I like Chillwave.
I don't have anything against the individual types of music. It's just, I guess it's just more like, it isn't a genre. It's a vague set of people who kind of do vaguely similar things in different genres.
Ah, what is a genre anyway?
That's fair enough, but it's essentially something that was made up by Pitchfork, and that just makes me mad on principle.
I thought that who was it? Fucking like Pigeons and Planes or somebody coined the term.
Oh, huh.
I might be wrong.
I admit that term makes me irrationally angry. Like, there's no good reason for me to be annoyed by the name Chillwave other than it sounds annoying.
I like some Chillwave stuff. I know Toro y Moi still releases good albums.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I listened to, I believe, like, Washed Out's, original, God,
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you now. I could hear
Okay.
you okay earlier, but then I couldn't hear you at all. It was weird.
Yeah, the connection's like really bad at my house,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
and even more so than usual because like weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you feel that you like want to bounce, I completely understand, but it is up to you.
I'm stubborn.
Okay.
Okay, that is fair.
Anyways, what I was going to say before,
Alright.
consider Duran.
Oh, Jesus fucking... Well, actually, the album that everybody points to get into Duran is simply called Duran. Yeah, it is the most... I mean, the fact is that, like, especially with, the fact is that, like, breakcore in its early days was essentially unusually high effort shit posting in music form.
So vaporwave.
Yeah,
no,
but like it's like angry vaporwave.
I dispute the idea that vaporwave is shit posting in musical.
Look,
Some of
look,
it is.
It
but-
can be. It's like
Vaporwave aesthetic, not the actual music. I understand there are actual legitimate artists doing good work in the genre,
yeah,
No,
it's
you-
just
but its
like
reputation fits.
yeah, and it is a little unfair to vaporwave. But the thing with breakcore is like even with like people who do like serious no fucking around great music like Richard Devine, Datachi, Venetian snares when he's in the mood. Nero's Day at Disneyland, aka Lauren Bausfeld.
Can I ask a question?
Like, yeah, yes.
What makes a snare Venetian?
It's a reference to a type of blind, like as in on Windows.
Venetian blinds. Oh,
Yeah.
I get it now. Like
And
the
so
Venetian, so
and
it's
they're
like
sometimes
a lot of
referred-
snares. Everyone, a lot of snares at once.
Yeah, but also it's a pun on the fact that the term Venetian snares is sometimes used, I think, in like England or something, to refer to Venetian blinds.
Huh.
And so the joke is
Sounds
that,
pretty
like,
Venetian.
his personal joke was like the way that he used snares was
Huh.
It's a very obtuse joke, but Aaron Funk is a very obtuse man.
Yes,
sometimes.
that's true. Also, his name is
The
Aaron.
obtuse man
Funk.
from the obtuse land.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Let me look at this
Oh,
list that I
maybe.
brought up. Who released music last year that I liked?
So like
the
I've just
usual-
got the
Usual suspects of Gucci Mane and Denzel Curry and that and who else here? Oh, Sonicon released an EP based around like Adult Swim bumper music that came out last year. You guys
Oh,
familiar?
speaking of like old
Who keeps
breakcore
pinging
guys
me?
who are actually pretty weird in other ways, releasing recent music, Igor released an album last year. Igor is fucking wild, and also he uses way too much compression.
How much compression is too much compression?
When your dynamic range is 3.
Three what?
3.
So, okay, like normal dynamic range, like ideal dynamic range is less than 10 and as low as 20. 3 is so brick-walled and so loud that even when you lower the volume, it still sounds loud.
Ah,
So the Rick Rubin thing, but on purpose.
Yeah, where like Rick Rubin, that's more like a 5 or even a 6, I think. Like,
so double Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin's
yeah.
music is also bad, mostly nowadays.
Oh yeah, like I mean, he can go. I think Rick Rubin, like some of his stuff, can go up to like a 4 or 3. Anything hot, anything lower than 3 is like really outrageous. Like the only 0.0 albums I know of are
That doesn't even
Korean.
seem like it makes sense. That'd be like infinite compression, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's like to the point that everything's in the red, literally. The only 2 I can think of that I know of that have been confirmed are Prurience and Still Wanting and Merzbau's Venereology. And I mean, like, Merzbau's other records actually have dynamic range. Same thing with Prurient. It's just that those records are intentionally mastered so that everything is distorted. Everything is blown the fuck out.
To me, that just seems sort of pointless, but I don't know. Maybe
I mean,
there's
no,
something
I mean,
in
like,
there.
I get, like, it's definitely not for everyone.
It's very danger music.
Good old Merzbow.
Are you
It's very
playing something
Merzbow.
right now? Because I can't see anything actually happening.
Yeah, and stream's picking it up too. Did
Just been seeing the void.
Did the
But I figured out just by connection.
huh?
I should like
Let
hang
me
up and call
try-
back.
No, it's on my end.
Oh.
You see everything now?
Okay, now I do.
All right.
Thank God.
Here, Shredney, behold my list.
I am beholding. Unfortunately, I can't see the further edge of it.
That's
but,
because it's.
Lame. But yeah, like, oh, you like everyone else on the planet has at least one of the Saturation albums on there. How could you betray me like this?
You didn't like Brockhampton?
I haven't listened to it yet, and I've heard that any of them yet, and I've heard that they're good. But at the same time, everyone being like they are the second coming of Christ, just like
No, okay. Here's my thing with like how Brockhampton has been received. I don't know anybody who thinks that they're like the best rap group of all time.
okay, that's
Everyone
fair.
I know thinks they're like pretty good.
Okay, that's fair. It's just I've seen them. I have seen almost too much approval, and it's making me wary.
Their stuff is very. I don't know what term I would use. It's kind of like it's got a sort of rough composition, but the actual sonics are very polished.
Huh.
So it's definitely not for everybody. And I picked 2 because I didn't like 1 at all, and I thought the third one was kind of too busy. but
Huh.
they make a lot of music, so you know.
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize now that I haven't actually listened to like anything that came out this year. Well, last year,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
haven't I haven't heard anything that you guys talked about,
Well,
even what's unusual.
I'm explicitly talking about stuff I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm including, like, I mean, this is technically not, from last year, it's from the year before, but, like, barely is the third Run the Jewels album.
Yeah.
I know, you've soured on them.
The weird thing to me with Run the Jewels is that I feel like they've gotten worse with each mixtape, and like everybody else on the planet thinks the other thing, like the other way around.
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe
So,
I'm just getting old.
I don't know, maybe it's just like that each of the mixtapes is moving in a particular direction that you just happen to not
Well,
like.
that actually is it. They've kind of moved toward this weird like indie festival rap, and I don't care for it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Um,
But I'm still curious about it simply
you
because,
might like it. I didn't care
yeah.
for it.
Okay, like,
I also think it's weird that people try to like politicize their second and third mixtapes when the first one was like easily the one with the most political stuff on it. It was weird.
that said, if I'm not mistaken, like, there are at least a couple very political songs in the most recent one I'd heard.
Not really. There's like some stuff, but it's kind of more general as opposed to, specific like naming names kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And on the first one, which mind you came out in like 2014, LP rapping about like police taking over the streets. He also tells you to suck his big crystal balls. So there's a line for you.
There's also, kill
That's
your
some very
masters.
good imagery right there.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think that they're bad. I just don't like the direction that they've gone in. Just mainly
That's
the
fair
thing.
enough.
And people
Also,
go on.
so metric fuck tons of hip hop I did not keep up with. Metric fuck tons of metal I would expect that I would have kept up with, but somehow didn't. And a surprising amount of noise music I did not know came out.
It was also a good year for vaporwave.
Yeah, like I noticed from your list there.
Bethany by Gonsfeld was really good.
Yeah. Also, the Mountain Goats released Goths.
I totally forgot to listen to that.
Yeah, I have heard that album is really fucking good, and what I've heard from it is really fucking good. So I should get to it.
I've misplaced a bullet.
I have heard like
question.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Yaren?
Yaren.
He had a question.
He did have a question.
So there isn't an.
Yeah.
What?
There isn't an actual group called Metric Fuck Tons of Hip Hop, right?
No.
No.
Are you sure?
But that would be pretty great. Or if there is, they need to drop something now.
That reminds me that today I learned about Draco the Ruler, who has the best rap name I've heard in years.
I don't really get it, but
And there's nothing to get. It just sounds cool. Just I don't think there's anything to get. Weirdly like avant-garde trap music.
How do you spell the first part of it?
It's like the word Drake, D-R-A-K-E,
Draco.
and then an O.
D-R-A-C-O?
No, D-R-A-K-E-O.
Drakeo.
Okay.
Drakeo?
No,
Draco.
it's pronounced Draco, but it's spelled like it would be pronounced Drakeo. It's a little weird.
But I think I'm gonna stick with Draco.
No, but
Because it sounds cooler.
yeah, like weirdly.
I mean, Draco's cool, but cooler.
Like weirdly avant-garde trap music from
I will look into that.
from the West Coast.
I have to write that down in my list of things that came out last year.
No, that came
I
out.
Still
That came out this year. That came out like yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah,
Okay, that's on my list of things I will listen to from this year.
Yeah, the
That
mixtape,
I'll have to get into.
which I have forgotten the name of, but you can just go on his SoundCloud and it's on there.
All right, so okay, who else dropped stuff that like this year that I was curious? But okay, yeah, Destroyer, who I was never really into, dropped an album. I heard one song from it and I was like, this is way more interesting to me, like way more my aesthetic than anything I've heard from Destroyer before, so I'm gonna check this out. I've still never heard anything by Broken Social Scene, but apparently they released an album and it was good.
I had a friend in middle school who that was his favorite band.
Huh.
Which is
And
what I think
Heinz. Hi, Heinz. By the way.
of. Heinz mentioned a posthumous Alan Vega album. I don't know who Alan Vega
Oh,
is.
yeah,
I don't
that
think.
one is on my list too, yeah. Yeah, Alan
But,
Vega's last album dropped last year. You
know what came out at the very tail end of the year that I didn't think I was going to like, ended up liking a lot?
What?
Dedication 6 by Lil Wayne.
Huh.
It was probably the best one since the second one, definitely since the third. Because 4 and 5 kind of sucked, but...
Yeah, I can't really entirely, like, I respect Lil Wayne's abilities, or, well, I mean, in his earlier stuff that I've heard, but he's not for me.
That's fine. You have to really be invested in the idea of hearing a guy like... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Like, make puns and raps and jokes about being good at shooting things, being good at having sex, and having a lot of money. That's kind of the extent. I mean, he occasionally goes into other subjects. He has a song called Georgia Bush, which is really good.
The Holy Trinity.
Which is about the Hurricane Katrina striking New Orleans. But,
Oh, and I forgot, like, and you noted it as well, that album Aesop Rock did with Homeboy Sandman? Who's that?
oh yeah, that's a trio of like little EPs that they've been doing over the past couple of years.
Huh.
Lice 2, which I think is subtitled More Lice, and then the third one is called Triple Fat Lice. Those are all very good. Yeah. Homeboy Sandman is a guy. I think he's on Stone's Throw.
Okay.
And he has like this really odd, dry rapping style that I can't really describe. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't hate him either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's just, I'm just curious as to see what, Aesop is up to.
Mm-hmm. He also produced a movie soundtrack last year.
Neat.
Obviously all instrumental, but in fact, so did Run the Jewels. Well, it wasn't an entire soundtrack, but they did Rubble Kings and Piano District, which are for a documentary about the gentrification of the Bronx, I think.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Now, I've never seen the documentary in question, so I don't know how accurate that is.
There are two bands, both whose names are pronounced Idols, but it's two different words, Idol. Like, one is, Idols as in Idylls, and then the other
Ah,
one is Idols as in Idles, and both of them released albums last year that seem really interesting.
hmm.
Like Idols with a Y are like a really frantic, abstract noise rock band, and Idols with an LE are like this mix of post punk and hardcore,
Hmm.
and they're English and intense.
Intensely English.
Indeed. And so both of those records seem like up my alley.
Yeah.
But like I mean, I guess Googling them isn't that hard, but it's kind of annoying. It's like, what idols are you referring to?
um. Heinz is seconding your decision to check out Idols with an E.
Oh
Um,
yeah, brutal. Yes, brutalism. Um, yeah, like songs I've heard off of that are they are savage. I dig the shit out of it. So like ton of black metal records that I didn't know were like I didn't know that black. Actually, I might have been aware of the fact that Black Silas released an album. I knew that Ulver dropped an album, and I still haven't listened
okay.
to it.
Bye, Yaren. Yaren dipped out.
Oh, Yarn is leaving.
Yeah.
Oh,
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 we're going to get
oh!
a brief Trey man.
A Trayvasion.
An intrapolation.
Intrapolation. That's even better. Um, Bonall also dropped an album.
That's a great name for a band.
Yes,
Bone
they are.
all. Not bone,
They
just a selection of things. Bone them all.
what?
What?
Summertime, and you know what that means. Gonna go down to the beach, gonna do some beachy things. It's summertime.
Hello, Trey.
Summertime, loving in the summertime. Hi,
Hello.
Howdy.
how you doing?
We're doing okay.
All right.
Today's show has been rather ramshackle so far, but that's alright.
Shambolic.
How's the thing that you're at?
It was fun. I got to see one of my best friends, and we had dinner, and it
Cool.
was their birthday, so
Yay.
Sick.
fun stuff.
Yeah, if you want to drop in more permanently, that's cool. But if not, that's also cool.
I mean, I'm down.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what we're gonna
So-
play now. It's been an hour, so I feel like I should switch games, but I have no idea.
So we've been talking like albums from last year because I'm talking about all the albums
Actually-
I didn't listen to.
sorry
last year.
to interrupt. You can bring him up to speed real quick, and I'm gonna go like get a drink because my asthma is killing
Oh,
me.
okay.
I'll be right back.
Oh, so like we don't have a docket. Jing was playing Heavy Bullets, and we were talking about albums that came out last year because I realized I have listened to so few albums last year that it's ridiculous, and we were just chatting about various albums that came out last year.
Well, I had a couple that I enjoyed. I think that my album of the year had to be between either A Moment Apart by Odessa, who I actually got to see live and have a
Oh.
physical copy of the album for, and
Cool.
then Glare by the M Machine, both of which are electronic efforts that are by duos with like kind of interesting spins on their respective subgenres, but they're very different. Like the
Yeah.
M Machine stuff is sort of in this like it's in this weird space between 80s and modern electronic stuff. They've almost got like a retro sensibility to a modern style. Like I think
Huh.
that's really interesting about their work. They used to have stuff that was pretty like standard electro house back in the day that was pretty good. But these days they've branched out a bit into more synth poppy and almost like I don't know, more emotionally driven directions, I guess.
Neat.
So that's cool. And then the other one, Odessa, they make basically chill wave, the type of stuff that's been popular at like festivals and stuff.
I went off on a whole tangent about how I have an irrational hatred of the term chillwave.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of their style, or at least what they've been popularly known as. I just tend to lump everybody that I like under the general term electronic because I feel like that's more accurate than trying to just name off every single subgenre.
Yeah, and also like I mean, what I was saying with chillwave is I feel like it's like a vague term for a kind of vibe that a bunch of different artists who had actually fairly different sounds in other ways kind of hit upon at the same time, and it feels like actually like I probably should have said this earlier actually was that it feels more like aside from being a term that just bothered me, it feels more like something that was a moment in time that is no longer a moment in time.
Ah, yeah.
Like in the same way that I sometimes am like a little like I did describe earlier the band Idols, one of the two bands called Idols but spelled in different ways that are on my list of bands I should check out. Like I referred to them as, you know, being post-punk influenced, and it's like post-punk though, like I feel kind of like the term it really describes more like a family of genres and also a moment in time that happened, like a period and a movement rather than a particular genre.
Templates
Yeah,
like
I
that
think
are
that's
forbidden.
actually kind of. I think that's actually kind of safe to say for not just post punk, but like a bunch of the different post. Like, well, not just post genres, but like genres in general. Like
Yeah.
grunge music, for example. You've got Pearl
Oh
Jam,
yeah.
And
who have a
rave.
significantly different sound than someone like Nirvana or the Smashing Pumpkins, all of which are considered grunge, but have very different takes on the same basic ideas.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Like yeah, hello?
I have returned.
Hi,
I
Dane.
have I noticed. Hello.
What are you guys feeling like we should take a
Uh
crack at today?
I mean, I'm you know what my go-to answer is.
Do I?
Just to rustle all the jimmies.
Do I?
Memes.
That would be Crypt Worlds, of course.
Oh. I don't think I even have Crypt Worlds on here anymore. I think I might have deleted it. um,
Undertale.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't own Undertale. I was.
God, what is an appropriately me game that I could force you to play?
You can't force me to play anything. I'm still the one with
I can't force you to play anything, but I can just...
Actually, how do you guys feel about some Toho?
Toho would be great. Yeah, sure.
There we go. Hold on. I got the English patch here somewhere. I just need to find it.
It's interesting that we ended up going to that well because I got introduced to a rather interesting thing that goes on Twitch last week because I was at a New Year's Eve party. But I guess I'll get into it once we actually start the game.
Okay.
All right.
Here it is. thpatchen.exe. I have to literally, like, crack open the local directory like some kind of elite hacker whenever I want to fucking play Toho in English because Zune won't hire a translator. That's okay, buddy. We love you anyway.
Oh, dear.
In other news, Jane is in your area and knows the first three numbers.
I'm in your area.
I'm in your area. I'm in your area.
Should I use my
Yeah,
gamepad for this?
that is incidentally one of my favorite Death Grip songs.
Sorry,
It's really
one more second. I'm gonna go get my DualShock real quick.
It's like that one. like I have kind of like known for it. Fuck Who's Watching. Um, yeah, like those are three that immediately come to mind as personal favorites.
Yeah, I really like that one, and then just like a
I
bunch
almost
of
tripped and
the
fell.
money store in like this weird sort of
Go.
like I don't know. I don't know if it's like vile fascination or just straight up fascination or what. Probably a little bit of both. But like that and Hustle Bones and what was the other one? Probably Be Please.
Yeah, like bitch, please, you must be smoking rocks, etc.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and when he breaks into fucking Jamaican patois for no reason,
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually, like, it's so obnoxious that it just transcends. Um, Also Blackjack, because the beat is basically backwards.
They've mastered the art of appearing to have like just this completely stupid, almost like non anti-cerebral
Are you guys talking about death
sort of
grips?
vibe to them, but then you look at the lyrics and you look at what specifically Ride is doing with his like performances that sort of makes it clear that there's more to it than you would ever like dream of thinking of.
And the layers of the weird shit in the production.
Are you guys
Just,
talking about death
Yeah, of
grips?
but
course.
I mean, like, even so, like, you know, like, I think in terms of, like, overall
That's
as
slightly too big.
albums,
Hold on.
I think that
There
actually,
we go.
now that I really think of it, like, The Money Store is probably, for me, one of their weaker albums, and it's still very solid. Like, I mean, like, I definitely prefer, like, Ex-Military or even, like, Jenny Death.
I'm in your area.
Although Jenny Death, I need to re-listen to. It's like, it's more like, when I listened to it, I thought, this is an excellent album, but at the same time, I wasn't, like, thinking in terms of songs so much as how it just flowed together and stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, and like, I feel like, I do feel like Government Plates is kind of underrated, although it has such a different feel in a lot of ways that I understand people not being into it.
Of their efforts, I think that that one is actually probably the one that resonated the most with me besides The Money Store.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Millie's favorite Death Grips album is Government Plates. And,
I have a
but on the
proposition for
other
you
hand,
guys.
she really doesn't like The Money Store,
I have a proposition for you
Yeah.
guys.
which is a weird thing.
Tread
I
me.
mean, but yeah, like,
Treadney.
Government Plates is one of those albums that I just like. I feel it draws more on electronic dance music of various sorts, and especially hardcore techno,
Why
than it does on
is
hip
this
hop.
not
Really?
responding?
You know, that's probably why I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why?
Like that's my wheelhouse. That's
Why?
my bread and butter.
Yeah, I get that. Um, like, but yeah, like, now I'm just thinking of, like, how, Jane, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I've actually been trying to talk for the past like 5 minutes.
Is Jane saying anything?
Oh,
I think she's
no.
still working on getting Toho up and running.
Wait. Hi. Yeah, I see you typing. I cannot hear you, Jane.
Wait.
Here
can
we
see you, but we
go.
can't hear you.
We can see you, but we
Can
can't
you-
hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay,
I can now. Yeah. Good.
It's doing this fucking thing
Verizon.
again where I plugged in the gamepad and it decided that that was my microphone and it was trying to feed the audio through that. The Toho Community Reliant Audio Automatic Patcher has been successfully updated to version 1.5. What?
Okay. All right, but yeah, like what
There you go.
what I was
But
saying was like
I um yeah.
Shrine Maiden.
Why is this not working? Ah. Whatever. We'll play the Japanese version.
Aww.
buff.
Aww.
I like this game. I like the Toho games. I like the culture around Toho. I think for such a large fandom, it manages to remain incredibly friendly for the most part. However, I don't like the fact that the official Steam release of the game, for one thing, doesn't have any language options at all other than Japanese. For another thing, just runs like, will sometimes just crash for no obvious reason. Like, I understand, guy programs this in fucking, like, this weird idiosyncratic setup that makes no sense to anybody but him. But I would like my games to work properly.
Yeah. Now I'm just remembering ransomware.
Oh, great. It's doing this again, where it's not recognizing that my numpad is the arrow keys.
Oh.
Oh, whatever.
Dear.
I'll just use the little arrow keys. It's fine. It's fine.
Meh.
How's it got you shooting?
Yeah. I've actually had that problem with, like, almost every imported shmup I've ever played, and I don't know why. Like, there must be some kind of difference with how, like, a Japanese computer is set up. That's the only explanation I can think of.
Well, how their keyboards are
Yeah,
set up. It's
yeah.
specifically. It's not even a difference in the hardware. It's a difference in the, I would assume, in the way that, like, because of the fact that Japanese keyboards, like, the programming in, like, the settings is to convert, like, certain keys into, hiragana and kanji and so forth. It has, like, different programming. I
Maybe.
guess.
I don't know.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like, because, like, I have seen in film and things, like, people typing.
There we go.
And, and what happens with that, and it's like, I don't quite know how it works.
Anyway,
It's,
at least we're playing now, although we're not going to be able to read any of the dialogue again. But that's okay.
Meh.
Nobody pays attention to the canon in these games anyways. Oh no, Yukari turned evil.
While we ignore the story, let me bring up my thing.
Yes, go on.
So I was at the New Year's Eve party that I previously mentioned with my other best friend, actually, and so one of their friends went on ahead and put up this website, this site called Salty Bet, which essentially...
Oh, I know
Oh, yeah.
Salty Bet, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Let me
Go on.
explain it for the crowd still.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
basically like a simulation of Mugen, the fighting game like engine that has a bunch of overpowered characters, and they fight against each other, and the viewers bet fake money on each of the contestants, like to see just for fun's sake, like who would win, you know?
Salty
It's
Bet
pretty
is
good
actually
stuff.
Yeah, Salty Bet is actually like really fun.
Yeah,
I believe
and,
you can also legally restream it, but I don't feel comfortable doing that without double checking. But
also
yeah.
there are like just a ton of Toho characters in it.
Oh yeah,
because
like all of them.
there's so many different Mugen versions of the characters, since the fan base is so big, and they always win.
Yes.
Because they're like ridiculously overpowered, and it's kind of beautiful.
There's like a whole like subculture around Salty Bet. People will tell you to always bet on models from like South American countries because those tend to be made to be more powerful. Like it's like a whole thing. I watch it from time to time. It's good fun.
It's
I
fascinating.
was just gonna say, I just kind of realized that there are, like, weird parallels between Zune and Henry Darger.
I don't know who Henry
Or
Darger is,
Darger.
I don't think.
Henry Darger, I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't think anybody really knows how his name was pronounced. Um, he was an artist who, famously, in his solitude, working as a janitor, wrote a 15,000-page novel.
Oh, that guy!
With extensive illustrations.
Yeah. Okay.
About a bunch of weird fairy princesses who do stuff.
A little bit, I guess. I always compared Zune more to a lot of There's sort of a lot of Japanese pop culture auteurs like that, Nisio Isin and Dauman Simon are two other ones who work in different mediums.
Yeah, that also makes sense. I'm just saying that there's something kind of I mean, I don't think there are that many parallels. It's just
sort of vaguely similar, yeah.
In that this man has created this weird sort of insular canon that is and created all these games by himself with really complex music and programming and all this, and it's it's a bunch of little anime girls fighting each other.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say that the subject matter of the works themselves is particularly similar, because it's not. But I do kind of see similarities in the fan bases between Toho and JoJo, actually.
Oh yeah, well
that makes
Zune is a big fan,
particularly in how there's just so much of a focus on the individual characters within massive span of works that have just gone on over decades and stuff,
Well, Toho turned 20 years old pretty recently, I think.
Yeah.
Because it might even be older than that, because I remember the first couple Toho games were not for Windows computers. They were for the PC-98, which is a very odd Japanese computer system with, among other things, an absolutely horrible graphics chip. But,
yeah.
A lot of
Am I thinking of something else, or is it the Japanese equivalent to the TurboGrafx 16?
Oh, that's the PC Engine. That's actually a games console.
Ah.
The PC-98 was actually a computer.
Yeah, the PC-98. The thing that I immediately remembered with the PC-98 is that the really creepy, probably actually legit Om Shinrikyo propaganda game was for the PC-98.
I don't think I know what that is.
The Om Shinrikyo were the Om Shinrikyo was the cult that did the subway.
Oh, those guys. Okay.
They had it is nobody's exactly sure where the game came from, but they think that it was created by members of the sect that remained after it, after they dispersed.
I mean, without knowing anything else about it, I mean, I guess it is possible just because the PC-98, even after it was kind of obsolete, had kind of a reputation as being a home for a lot of Dojin RPGs and stuff.
Yeah.
And the occasional shmup, such as Toho. Although not really very many, but... So, I mean, I guess it would make some sense, but...
Yeah, that, a really weird fringe Dojin soft thing would be on there, and, but, yeah, it's there's something really just deeply bizarre, even if it were a hoax.
It does kind of have a creepypasta air to me, but again, I don't know anything else about the story really.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact is that Om Shinrikyo, they created a short anime to as propaganda, and that features and footage from it features heavily in this game. So there's like a lot of other weird stuff in it that suggests that it was made by people who were members of the cult after it kind of flung to the winds.
I would
Like
like to reiterate that we managed to go an entire segment without talking about anything absurdly dark.
And then this
That's
happens.
a new record for us, I think.
Yeah, like I mean I apologize for making it dark.
It's okay. But
like,
to bring
yeah,
it back to something that's less horrid,
Less
but also still really weird and interesting. The very first
Okay.
Toho game was actually not a shmup at all. It was it was an Arkanoidian. It was an Arkanoid clone.
What is Arkanoid?
Breakout. The game, you got like a paddle and a ball, and you try to
That's
like
really
break.
weird to think about.
You
actually,
try to like you break bricks along the top of the screen.
yeah.
Oh,
It's Breakout,
Yeah.
Brick Breaker.
Yeah, highly responsive to prayers. The first Toho game was an Arkanoid clone.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! What? Wow!
Reimu, there was a bunch of weird shit about the first Toho game. Reimu couldn't fly on her own, so her sprite had her riding on the back of Genji, who was a magical turtle.
Yeah, like I think I knew about that. Who is this strange little unicorn person?
That is Aun, and she is a one of those those like lion dog statues.
Oh yeah,
She's
I
one of those
forgot,
things.
like,
Yeah.
She is good. I like
Or
her.
is it pronounced Un? I'm not entirely sure.
How do you spell it?
A-U-N.
That would be like Aun.
Actually,
Okay.
I guess it's A-U-N-N. That's up there in the corner.
Aun.
She's good. Although,
Yes.
as of the release yesterday of Toho 15 and a half, yes, really, she is no longer the newest. These characters are no longer the newest Toho. There's there's only two new ones in the because the new game is one of the fighting game spin-offs developed by the Twilight Frontier. There's only two new characters in that one, and they are a pair of sisters. One is a poverty god, and one is a wealth god.
Huh.
They're pretty good. I had the wealth god as my avatar on Twitter for a little while.
Good.
So, Heinz says in the chat, Salty Bet is a thing, alright. I can't remember which Toho it was, but I saw one lose to an Inspector Javert once. That is beautiful.
That is life is beautiful.
That's another thing is if you see like a really like a relatively obscure character like from an obscure property, they will always win because like it's like that sometimes. Which character do you guys think we should play as next?
Just who's the one with the fan?
This?
Yes.
That's why am I blanking on her name now? The Tengu, the one that Win likes a lot.
Yeah.
Aya. Aya? Yeah.
Hello.
Aya, I think so.
You shall be our champion.
I mean, I have no objections.
Hey, somebody in chat, what the fuck is the name of the Tengu Toho? I'm feeling embarrassed that I can't remember this now. It is Aya, right?
Onward, Zayoshima!
That's maybe my favorite, like, 1 second gag in Gravity Falls.
Yes.
Onward,
The
Zayoshima!
future is the past.
What a strange little show.
It's just like... Yeah, like... I think that's, like, the answer, like, like... What, like... never give an 11-year-old LSD. But in case you ever wondered, that's what happens.
Onward, Zayoshima.
Onward, Zayoshima.
Well, that was dumb. I'm gonna restart, actually. I don't... I'm not nearly good enough at this game to be playing perfectionist, but still, dying before I even get to the boss on the first level is a little bit much, I think.
Mm.
Are the things like the difficulty levels still named like insane and lunatic?
Lunatic is always the highest one, yeah. Although the other ones I think are just easy, normal, and hard. Usually, the thing that tends to be goofy is the descriptions from them.
Yeah,
It's like
that makes sense.
a difficulty for people who don't go outside very often. I forget. I think that's from one of the games, but that might be from a fan game instead. I'm not entirely sure.
Still, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is good regardless, and also not wrong.
I mean, I think that's pretty good for like striking a balance between the difficulty names that are like funny, but like not harmful or whatever. Because
Yeah.
like some of them can get a bit sketchy with that whole thing.
I remember the Wolfenstein game for the original Xbox. The lowest difficulty was called "Can I Play 2, Daddy?"
That's
Oh,
I think that's also the case in like the most recent one, or
Maybe.
if nothing else, that they like make it so that the picture of BJ that shows up when you pick that like next to the difficulty level is him in and he has a pacifier in his mouth and a bonnet around his head.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That Can I play too, Daddy?
There are other ways you could take that if you
yes,
wanted to. Yes.
That's what I was
Um,
thinking. Oh my god.
We're not going to, but if you wanted to, you could.
Yeah. No, I'd prefer not to get the writing prop and the
Twitch.tv/Planet Jane has been suspended for.
Oh no! Now I'm
content.
remembering. Oh god, I can't even. I don't think I. I think I technically can tell this story on stream, but I'm not sure that you'd want me to.
If you think that I wouldn't, you're probably correct.
It was just something that Millie and I saw when we were walking around on 2nd Street. And
Ooh, Millie Rock.
wow, that was
Millie Rock, I'll never
there was a store display for a store called Kink, which it just said passion, desire, X-lax.
What?
What?
I'm not kidding.
Oh no.
I thought I knew where that was going, but it took a turn just off a cliff and fell into the canyon below into a flaming wreck.
Passion, desire, X-lax.
No!
And yeah, we were both in hysterics. Well, okay, actually, Millie, being, the stoic, composed one, just had, like, a wry, goofy grin on her face. But I was just cackling maniacally and trying to, like, stop myself.
I mean, that kind of reminds me of what happened when I figured out what Priscilla's in Raleigh sold for the first time. I think I was like 10.
What does Priscilla's in Raleigh sell?
Lingerie and gifts.
Gifts!
Gifts.
I like around here, places like that just don't beat around the bush. There used to be a shop. It's closed now, but there used to be a shop up in Lehighton that was just straight up called the Porn Store.
That is good.
You knew what people were going in there for.
Oh,
And I guess they figured that if your kids ask you what that means while you're driving by, then tough shit.
really?
And there's a place in Walnutport, and this is actually a chain called Condoms Galore.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
that's like in
It's like a general
South-
northeastern thing, I
Oh,
think.
in Philly, there's on South Street, there's Condom Kingdom.
Oh my god.
It is a large store too.
Oh my god.
I think they give out free cheap ones as samples.
Oh Christ! You don't want to use
Well-
the free cheap ones. No.
Well, I don't know if they mean it's not necessarily cheap as in bad. It's just like it isn't one of their deluxe special models.
I need a minute.
We all need a minute. Oh, that also reminds me of when
Kingdom.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
oh no, Trey's leaving before I could reveal the other amazing story
Oh,
when
fuck.
Don't worry,
Mary
I
and
can
were
still
walking
hear you.
around in Philadelphia.
Do go on.
I, being the naive young man that I was, decided to poke into Spruce Street Video one night,
Oh no.
which is in a basement in the neighborhood. The guy there was very nice, but I turned around and noticed that it was mostly there were actually random other kinds of films thrown in there too, so that was particularly kind of humorous. But a lot of gay adult fare. And then I noticed the display case with the enormous dildo and was like, okay, now I know what kind of store I'm in.
Okay, I think I actually need to go get my fucking inhaler. Hold on.
Okay. Oh god, I've killed the host. No. I'm the worst guest ever. You all right, Jane? I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Incredible.
Yeah. Did you hear the story?
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's pretty good.
Is Jane all right?
I believe so. I think that she's just getting her inhaler.
Okay, good. I really don't hope that I've committed homicide by humorous anecdote on stream. Oh no.
Why is the fucking oven on? God.
Oh no.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's not that you made me laugh so hard that I had an asthma attack. It's that you made me laugh hard enough that the air being so effing dry in here aggravated my asthma, and I had an asthma attack because of that.
I didn't want to be party to hilarity-induced homicide.
Thankfully,
But,
my mom did not take my inhaler to work with her today.
oh, good.
She's done that before. Usually
think
without
I've-
asking me.
I think you've actually mentioned that before.
I'm sure I have, because I complain about it constantly.
That makes sense. So
She doesn't do it on purpose, but still.
So our opponent is inside of a Star of David.
Yeah, that's just considered like a general magical symbol in Japan, I think. I don't think they really understand, like, the Jewish association.
Yeah, I get it. I just find it, like, I don't know, mildly funny. It's like, the Magen David. Like,
This character in particular is supposed to be a mountain hag.
Huh.
In Legends, they, so I'm told anyway, they, like, kidnap children. This one, takes in abandoned children, as fitting, Toho's, like,
that is good.
general inversion of how these things tend to go.
Well, good for her. She is nice. I also like her hair.
She has good hair. Alright.
So, yeah, that conversation did get a bit rowdy, didn't it?
We're fine, we're fine. I actually know, words are hard sometimes. I actually know of, at least one streamer who used to, I don't know if they still do. In fact, I'm not even sure what this person's, like, handle was on Twitch, but they used to have the game they were playing in a tiny little window up in the corner, and then the rest of the camera was just, like, focused on their chest. Yeah.
Why?
Because she was a busty lady in a low-cut outfit.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
But, like, if you stare at it that long, just
Just go to a porn website? Yeah, that was my thought as well, but apparently...
I mean, yeah, that's one thing, but also,
apparently
like,
there was an audience for that kind of thing at one point, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, maybe it's like the Gansfeld effect, is that you just keep staring at it and you start to notice patterns that aren't there.
Patterns in her cleavage?
Yes, like, it's like a white wall, except it's cleavage.
Oh, Lord. But, yeah, I don't know.
But her cleavage slowly transforms before your eyes, despite not doing anything.
To be clear, I don't...
Terms of service violations, ahoy.
Yeah. To be clear, I don't begrudge this person anything. It's just, like, kind of... More, if anything, I just kind of have many questions for the people watching that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't have... I don't... Yeah, I'm not going to begrudge the person. It's just,
you know...
like, I mean...
Whatever you can do to get by in this economy, am I right?
Yeah, but, like, also, just, like... But at the same time, it's just, like...
It's just funny,
It's still funny. I mean, and, like, just a little bit, like, not completely outlandish, but just mildly surreal.
Well, it would be different if she had, like, a face cam in the corner, because that's pretty normal. But the game was in the corner, and her tits were the entirety of the screen.
That is one way to do business.
It is. I mean, again, you know, whatever you can do to make money in this economy, I guess. It's just...
I'm just thinking about that whole culture of guys on YouTube who drink malt liquor.
Is that a thing?
I can say...
like, guys who would, like, just drink a whole 40 of malt liquor on camera in various situations. And there's even like a formula to it.
Huh. Trey, what were you gonna
That's
say?
fascinating. But yeah, in Twitch's case, they sort of created this situation because they got rid of Justin.tv and replaced it with a gaming focused website. So in a way, they made their own bet here.
Yeah, that
Haha, bet.
Well,
Haha, sex reference.
that said, there are like other things on Twitch that people do now. There's like that old lady that paints a lot, and it's really good apparently.
Yeah, that sounds neat.
It's like a latter day Bob Ross kind of situation.
Oh, that sounds refreshing.
I don't remember her name though. It's like Rose something, I think.
Yeah, like Twitch would be a good what is it called? A good platform for somebody doing the Bob Ross thing.
They, in fact,
Including but not limited to Bob Ross himself.
yeah, in fact, at one point they restreamed the entire back catalog of
Wow.
Bob Ross stuff. And there was an exclusive emote, as Trey has helpfully demonstrated in the chat.
Neat.
Kappa Man with a Bob Ross afro. I'm bad at video games.
My call tag for when I thought I was gonna be a YouTube person was gonna be, "Hi, my name is Trey, and I suck at video games. Let's play some together."
I think there's actually somebody that does that. So maybe you were
Yeah,
on
I
to
wouldn't
something.
be surprised. In lieu of that, I'm still planning to do the podcast thing. I actually wrote the first episode of it inadvertently because I finished up my history of video games class by doing the final as an essay, and he kind of just let us do whatever topic we wanted because the final was basically posturing. Just he was going to pass everybody in the class anyway as long as we did something. So I took the opportunity to write a nice little sort of essay about Tony Hawk and the history of the franchise, how it rose and fell. So I think that with a little bit of modification, it would work pretty well as the first episode of Late Night Game Night. So
I'm still willing to come
ever-
on that whenever you do that.
yeah, if that ever happens, I'll keep you guys posted.
And talk
Cool.
about Halo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just something.
Video games.
I'm just
Video
entranced by
games.
the all the various bullet patterns.
Yeah,
Like it's
they're pretty nice.
If it weren't illegal in Pennsylvania and I actually had the money for it, I would totally get stoned to this. Seriously, I could watch this for just forever.
I would totally get stoned while watching Toho. Shredney, 2018. I almost said 2014. Little late for
mean,
that.
I probably would have essentially said that then too. Like, if I knew what Toho were.
What was I
And I
doing
probably
in 2014? I was probably... I don't know, that was the year I was working at Dollar General, I think. I fucking hated working at Dollar General. I have had 4 separate retail jobs over the course of my life, over the last 5 years basically, and they've all sucked.
I was a junior/senior in high school and just starting to become the Trey that I am now.
2014 was the year that I started doing... Like, I actually have it recorded as January 1st, 2014 was when I chose the name Silence and Secrecy for my music.
I put out the first 2 Trevor Whatever albums, actually.
I started recording music way back in 2009.
Yeah.
Coming up on 10 years.
I mean, yeah, like, I've actually been probably recording music since like
Actually,
2007.
actually
at this
might
point.
be 2008. Now that I think about it, I
Yeah, like
I was
we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
which is
So
why I get a little bothered when people ask me if I'm like trying to do the lo-fi thing that's been trendy for the past 2 or 3 years.
No, you've been doing it since before it was trendy.
yeah, so let's see. I think that my first album, quote unquote, which was really just GarageBand loops put into like song form, was 2008. It was called Life in Red, and
I
named
remember
it
that.
after.
I think.
Yeah, I named it after a selfie that I took with my Mac, the camera on it before the word selfie was invented.
When was this?
This
Again?
was 2009 or 2008. I was like roughly 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
I recorded a like a thing of like piano noodling when I was in high school. That would have been about 2008 or 2009. Called "I Found Myself in a Dark Wood," which is named after the first line of Dante's
I
Inferno.
recognize the name. Yeah.
I have always been sad about the fact that I was never able to like rescue that from my old computer before it went kaput on me.
Yeah,
That's
almost
depressing.
all of Life in Red is lost to time, except for one track that I put on as a bonus track to District 76, which was
Yeah.
the first album I put out like publicly as Trey Stuck, which was a name that Jane actually gave me.
Was it? I don't
Yeah.
remember that. Like I remember
Yeah,
you using
you-
it. I don't remember giving it to you though.
Yeah, you were like,
Huh.
hey, I
That's
think
terrible.
that Trey Stuck would be a good musical name, and I was like, sure, because I hadn't come up with Trevor whatever just yet.
Yeah.
And then I put out District 76. It kind of sucked, but it was fun. And,
I would argue that my music sucked until like last year, maybe 2016, if we're being generous.
I don't think that I thought that like your music for a long time was less consistent, but it was still like good. I think.
The
I-
earliest of my work that I can still listen to without I hate to use the word, but without cringing endlessly would probably be WE, which was November 2014.
I think that like actually maybe it's just me being supremely arrogant. And also the fact that I would endlessly remix things over the course of years, like when I was a teenager. But the fact of the matter is that I recently, like relatively recently, like last year, released a bunch of stuff from when I was in high school. And like I am super happy with a lot of it.
Well, yeah, but you make music like really slowly, which I think like gives your ideas more time to percolate and kind of form into
That's true.
like shapes that are meaningful. Whereas what I did and still do was I release pretty much everything I ever record. In fact, I'm sitting on like a 45-minute long compilation of unreleased stuff from last year that I'm just kind of waiting for a good time to put out.
In my case, it's like kind of interesting because I used to be more like Jane, like back in 2014 and especially 2015, but since then my output has slowed down pretty significantly. Although part of that is like just because I've been getting older and college is a thing, and like transitional stuff, but also I feel like I've been taking my time specifically with this record because I want it to be really good.
Yeah. I mean, like even for me, like since I've started doing video game stuff regularly, I do release less. Like you can go back and look.
Yeah.
Like early last year, and especially like 2016. I think I released an album for every month in 2016 and maybe 2 for some of them. So I was definitely, you know, releasing things at quite the clip. And now I am, only working on 2 projects due out sometime this year. And one of those is a collaborative record, which I don't know. I don't think he'd mind me mentioning. I'm doing a full not studio album, a full mixtape with Striped Solid, who has guested on several of my works before, and we did a short EP last year.
Just saying though, like if we ever can work it out, we should totally do a full, or at least like a semi-full Data Miners record.
Yeah, the only thing that's keeping me from doing that is that like dance music kind of stuff, which is sort of what you do, but not entirely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is like not the mode I usually operate in, so I have to kind of like get in a different headspace. But maybe after maybe after the Stripes thing is done, we could do something like later in the year.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Because I've been wanting to. It's just a matter of like finding the specific stuff. The other thing that I'm working on, I think I've mentioned this publicly before, is a album like based around very early PC gaming. So like kind of inspired by the soundtracks that stuff like really early adventure games would have.
Huh.
And that album is being made entirely with the Deputy 64, which is a very finicky software synthesizer.
Huh.
Cool.
Yeah, I have the first track of that up on my SoundCloud, I think.
Sounds like it'll be a kind of interesting, like a different side of the same coin that I'm doing with battery life.
Yeah, that was part of the motivation for it, and the other part was that I've been watching like a lot of LGR stuff, and I found like the sort of straightforwardness of a lot of older computer games really charming.
Mm-hmm.
And I went for like adventure games and escape the room games specifically because they tended to have these really simple but really moody soundtracks, and that's kind of what I'm going for with that record as well.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I'm kind of, in some ways, like, ideally what I want to do is almost in the opposite direction, well, not entirely in the opposite direction, is I'm kind of, like, thinking with some of the songs that I've written for the next proper Silence and Secrecy album, I feel like they would work best in a full band context, and then maybe I would, like, add even more stuff to them using my, home studio kind of setup. But, like, I'd need to, like, arrange things with, the people who I know who play instruments
Yeah.
to actually do that. But, like, there's some stuff that I think would really work well as, like, straight up, well, not straight rock songs exactly, but that feel more like, things that would be in a band context.
I get you.
Like, like, I wrote one song that's gonna be, like, has multiple parts and it'd probably be, like, 10 minutes long. And there's another one that's probably going to want, like, that I've recorded, which wound up being 8.5 minutes and it's nowhere near finished.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with different, like, I don't know that song is really the right word, but, like, piece lengths over the past while. And I released that EP last year that was just, like, 2 10-minute long songs.
Yeah.
But,
I like when you go with that sort of, like, more stretched out kind of deal.
I kind of try to strike a balance because I think too much of one or the other sort of...
oh yeah, like, only one thing or only one the other thing can kind of get, like, can feel either too claustrophobic or too self-indulgent, potentially. Yeah. Like, the irony here is that in the expanded edition I made for my first physical album, Patron, of Die Alone is 2 hours long. Like, it is a fucking ridiculously long album. And also, I feel like I did more in like 46 minutes with Christmas Wishes in some respects than I did in like
I liked that one.
like 90 to 110 minutes with the different versions of Die Alone.
I mean, like, my albums rarely exceed like half an hour.
Yeah,
Every once in a
I've
while I'll break 40 minutes, but it's not very common.
Yeah.
I don't know how this Stripes collaboration, how long that's going to end up being. Part of it is that I'm kind of trying to hone my skills in preparation for moving out to Chicago, because there's like a thriving indie hip-hop scene out that way, people like Vic Spencer and all that. And I'd like to maybe connect with some people out there, but, you know, it's not like there's a shortage of hip-hop producers in Chicago either, so I kind of gotta step it up a little bit.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I think you have a distinct and enjoyable sound.
Well, that's nice to hear. I always kind of worry that my stuff sounds sort of indistinct. Because it's, you familiar with the English expression falling between two bar stools?
Yes.
So, I always kind of worry that it's, like, not, analog and weird enough for people who are looking for trip-hop in 2017 or 2018, but also, like, not chill enough for people who are looking for, like, the lo-fi stuff. So, I don't know.
I feel that it's, like when your stuff gets as strange, it gets pretty strange, and when it's chill, it's pretty chill. I feel it's more flexible, a more flexible sound.
Perhaps.
And
I
also,
do feel
the fact that it doesn't sound too much like one or the other of those things makes it distinct from both of those things.
I guess so.
regarding lengths of like the stuff we put out, I do think that my strongest and like probably most consistent effort has actually been WRT, which was my fourth EP, or like really third, I guess, something like that. Where 3 of the 4 songs that are on it are genuinely some of the better things that I've put out. Each of them are like 3 to 4 minutes long, and it all clocks in at under 20 minutes total. So I think that's interesting to think about, where I was sort of like working in a modus where I wasn't like quite as quickly as I was in 2014, because that was 2015. I actually reversed the 2 earlier. It was 2014 where I was cutting a rug, and then 2015 where I slowed down. But yeah, kind of interesting to think about. I think that battery life will probably be better in that regard, because I'm going for this, like, I don't want anything on the track list that I don't love, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
that's always the hard part for me.
Obligated to include certain tracks because you work on them, and then you want them to be stuff that you enjoy, but you just can't, you know?
Yeah. That's kind of what I do the FTV collections for nowadays, is I put stuff that I worked on and think is interesting on those, even because, like, I prefer to save the best stuff for the actual records.
Yeah.
And I actually just remembered I did also reissue my first mixtape I ever released last year with a different cover.
Huh.
It's somewhere on my Bandcamp page if you want to go looking for it.
Was it the one which is, what is title? You mentioned it earlier.
No, this was the one that I made in Audacity in like 2010, 2011.
Oh yeah, it is a mystery. Well, it too is a mystery.
Yeah, that one. The new one's
like
got
that
Shinji on the cover.
Yeah, I like that one.
That was I mostly made that album by ripping things from Derby.com, which is a website that does not exist anymore. It was an old YouTube audio ripper.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
I actually still get things off of YouTube pretty often, but you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah, I mean, like, the fact is, I feel like you've mentioned before that some people take issue with that, and all I can think is YouTube is essentially the new television.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
like,
I used to pay those people a lot of mind, but like I mean even somebody as famous as Action Bronson, his one producer, Party Supply, rips stuff from YouTube all the time. And you know
I mean, yeah. And also, like, it's the only place to find some stuff.
yeah. Especially if you're looking for things that are like not just like non-musical and weird. Like
Oh, yeah.
there's this short video called the greatest putt shot of all time, I think. And it's these people playing golf in the middle of the night. And one of them gets a hole in one. Like they're playing mini golf, sorry. One of them gets a hole in one, and they all just freak the fuck out and start screaming.
That's
pretty
beautiful.
It's a really good video, and I've actually used it like maybe half dozen times in various songs, but just like little tiny snippets of it. So you know,
Yeah, I just like I have seen YouTube videos and like various weird things, and at some point, like I don't know, like I mean I might want to actually like ask certain people for their permission for certain things, simply because like there will be a line or a particular thing which is so distinctive and strange that I think that putting it in some kind of musical context would just be perfect.
there's a guy, The Range, who does that. Like that's his like entire thing. Is he like samples like vocals from like amateur singers and such on YouTube. And
I used to be like significantly heavier on that regard because back in the nostalgia trip and WE days, that was like something that I prided myself on. Where one of the first tracks that I got like really a lot of traction behind on Audio Tool at least was I'm Dirty Dan, which the sample source is obvious, but also one that I did that Gomez, which was like still one of my favorite songs, has the "You've Got Mail" from AOL's early email program.
I
Yeah.
used the Goodbye for that to end an album once, and I don't remember which.
Huh.
Yeah. I went back to that a little bit with
Goodbye.
the loop EP or the command key sign. I never I never figured out how I wanted to pronounce that. I just call it the loop EP.
I ended up mentally referring to it as Apple Command Key.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit less catchy.
Yeah. But I went back to that for Kernel Panic, which ends with the like sad Mac sound that used to play on old Macintoshes back in like the 90s.
Huh.
Oh.
Actually,
I think I know that sound you're talking about.
I still have like a couple of years ago, Millie made a like little mini drum kit out of a bunch of old Apple sound effects, so. And I still have that and use it from time to time. Especially there's this like little like flicking noise that I guess was used for like I don't know, like selecting folders or something, and I use that quite a lot. But when I use it, I usually slow it down a whole lot, so you can't really tell. Anyway, we're playing GeoGuessr. I forget which one I picked on, so.
Okay, where the hell are we? We are in Farm Zone.
I think this is where Courage the Cowardly Dog takes place.
Oh, so no Kansas?
You make me look bad.
Ooga booga booga! That show was Often disturbing, but a very fun time
Oh yeah.
nonetheless. Also,
Ramses,
I think
the
we
man in
drove
gauze,
off
the man in
all of our
gauze.
viewers by talking about our own music for like half an hour, but oh well. It's my fucking show.
Ramses, the man in gauze,
The
the
man in
man in
gauze, the
gauze.
man in gauze. King Ramses. Actually, let me
Yeah, like just return the
the slab.
slab.
That became a meme on the NLSS for a while.
Yeah. Also, uh, anything involving cats is good.
Yeah, the cat. Well, he was a cat guy. Also,
By which I mean disturbing.
yes,
Like anything involving cats is disturbing.
yes. There was also the Cajun Fox. I like that character a lot, but they only ever
Oh,
used
yeah.
him like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, oh, I remember him. He was good.
He was good. He had really big glasses.
Oh, and oh god, there was also all the weird shit with Now I'm just remembering the one with it's Doc Gerbils
World. Yeah, that was a one-off character. I think. I don't think they ever used him again.
Yeah, that's
Unless
there's
he
a lot
showed
of
up in.
weird shit in that show.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Hey, look at this old car just kind of sitting here.
Yeah, there's a tarp on it.
We should go
Yeah.
steal it.
But and then LeQuack.
Hey, Myrmidon is now playing Rusty Lake.
But yeah,
I don't know what that is. Have fun, Myr.
Oh, Mur was here? Hi, Mur.
No,
Bye, Mur.
I saw him playing. He popped up in my Steam notification on my my
Oh.
HP. People like to just kind of park their cars in their grass out here, I guess. I see that around here sometimes too. I don't quite understand it. Is this a bunch of birdhouses just sitting here?
That does indeed look like a pile of birdhouses that happens to be vaguely shaped like a motorcycle.
You guys ever just want to have a birdhouse? A&E.
Factory repair services, I think.
Maybe? Did they repair?
I've
It's
seen those.
Arts and Entertainment Factory repair services.
Oh.
I've seen those trucks around, although I think it might be like national chain.
Hey,
Kind
does
of
anybody
reminds
remember?
me almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of
Okay.
reminds me of those Sears, like. Do you remember the Sears commercials that had the air conditioning thing where
Yes.
they were hot and the air conditioner didn't work?
So they got
think
the
that-
thing from Sears.
You'll call
I
now.
think that was that. I don't know if they're related or not, but those vans always remind me of those commercials.
What? How does that go? It's like, I hate air conditioning not working or something.
I can't remember.
I don't remember the actual. I remember the cadence of it perfectly, but not the actual words.
They were like, what does the thermostat say?
Yeah,
And
was
then
it?
the lady was like 98.
Oh God.
Dude, am I remembering this right?
I think
so,
you
yeah.
are.
And then at the end,
Okay.
it's like, okay, I'll call tomorrow. You'll call now.
Yes.
That's the part that everybody
Yeah,
remembers,
yeah.
I think.
What I was gonna say is, does anyone else remember how the channel A&E like slowly became trashier over time?
I don't think
4 words. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I've ever
Yeah,
watched.
like, but it
anything
started
on
out
A&E.
like being like Murder She Wrote and Nero Wolf and
Murder,
like,
she
all
wrote.
stuff.
Murder,
I think they
she
figured out that
wrote. Murder,
appealing
she
to
wrote.
old people wasn't making in the big bucks.
Yeah, and then they started
And I know
doing
this girl, her
things
name
like
is Maxine. Her beauty's like a bush of rose. And if I tell you
What?
about Maxine, gonna say that
You
I
wanna
go
know
what
how I go, what I know.
Murder, she wrote. Yeah, Trey knows.
Murder, she wrote.
It's Murder, She Wrote by Shaka Damus and Clears.
Okay.
I love how you actually know the artist. I don't even like know who actually did the song, but I know the song
Yeah,
because
that.
it's like
Where are we? It looks kind of like near where I live.
Yeah, I think this could be like anywhere in the country, to be honest with you, because it looks like I actually live near a place that looks like this too.
Let's try, like,
Cherryville, I think
the
it's called.
north part of southeast Pennsylvania.
I mean, it's as good a guess as any.
the north part of southeast
Yeah, wait a
Yeah,
second.
Pennsylvania.
that's
Hold on.
actually a thing.
You mean like the middle of eastern Pennsylvania?
No, a little south of there.
So like
Like, like
here.
out, like, to the west of Allentown.
You mean like okay?
I'm
So like
thinking it's
Between
more
Allentown
south,
and
like
Lancaster.
in the southeastern United States, but go on ahead.
it could honestly like it could be anywhere. To be honest
It
with
could
you,
really be anywhere.
I'm gonna keep looking for a little bit, but anyway, yeah. I actually only know that song because I stumbled onto it on YouTube one day,
Hmm.
while listening to a completely unrelated other reggae song. It was in like a playlist. And that song has
It's
a very
icon-
good chorus.
It's iconic within Jamaican culture.
I have heard
It's
that.
one-
Yes.
It's one of those ones that everybody, and I mean everybody, knows.
The guy's
Uh,
name. Well, you say you don't know the artist. I was gonna say the guy's name is Pliers, right, and not Pliers. I think it. I think it is. Like,
Huh.
it's like pronounced incorrectly on purpose. I'm not sure. I'd have to like look it up, I guess. But yeah, I think Pliers is the singer and Chakademus is the rapper.
Yeah, the other one that everybody knows is like I think well besides "Turn Me On" by Kevin Little would probably be the one that Tory Lanez sampled for "Love." I don't know the name of it by heart, but I think it's the one that goes "Everybody falls in love sometimes."
I don't know that I know that.
Everyone falls in love sometimes.
It does sound vaguely familiar, but I can't place
Uh,
it offhand.
All I can think
Actually,
is...
hey, we weren't that bad off. We were in New York. We were like
Oh,
near.
upstate New York,
Up
oh,
in
right.
New York.
I have no idea where this was. Like,
Well, not quite upstate. Well, it's still... Yeah, it's like almost upstate New York.
All of New York, besides New York City, is upstate New York.
I'm so
No, I mean,
fucking.
actually, they make...
I'm
like,
sorry. Hold
people
on.
who
Hold
are
on.
from the parts of New York that aren't New York City actually do make a distinction.
Now this is the internet has ruined me because anytime I now think of upstate New York, my mind goes to, oh no, not Albany. No, it's an Utica expression.
What?
The Aurora Borealis from The Simpsons.
Oh, like, what about Albany?
There's a scene in Are you familiar with the Aurora Borealis like meme?
No.
All right. So, Trey, are you familiar with
The meme or the actual phenomenon?
the thing from The Simpsons?
No.
All right.
I am not.
So, there is a scene in The Simpsons. I believe the episode is one of the like ones where instead of a single running plot, it was like a little mini anthology. And one of the sketches is about Principal Seymour inviting Superintendent Chalmers over for dinner. And long story short, his initial plan is to make steamed clams, but they burn. So he sneaks out his window and goes across the street to a fast food place and gets burgers from there. Yeah,
Oh,
Heinz
yeah, I remember
steamed
that
hams. Yeah. And then he comes back and sets up the dinner, and he says that no, Superintendent Chalmers misheard him. He didn't say steamed clams. He said steamed hams. And then he tries to claim that it is an upstate New York expression. So now, anytime that I am that I think about upstate New York, my mind immediately goes to, Oh no, it's not in Albany. No, it's a Utica expression. Or no, it's the other way around. It's not. It's not in Utica. It's an Albany expression. I don't know.
I'm
why I
pretty
know
sure
this.
that I remember seeing something on actually The Verge about how that meme came back into vogue recently.
Yeah, that's why it's been on my mind. Is people have been making like edits of it. There's one that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like cuts together like 30 different language dubbed versions of the scene. Diabolical Seymour. Uh, it's really good. But
I just like, you know, I am sure, like, you know, I'm just thinking if, like just if you were to localize that to Japan, you could make the joke, oh, Kobe, not Kyoto,
something like that. Yeah.
because they're both in Kansai.
Isn't there also a thing called Kobe beef? You could work that in there somehow too, probably.
Yeah, Kobe beef. Yeah.
You could definitely. There probably is a Japanese dub of The Simpsons. That show's been dubbed into like every language that exists.
I mean, no doubt, but I feel like the funny thing is that particular joke could even be used. It's like,
yeah,
it's a Kansai delicacy, and it's like from Kyoto, no, from Kobe, or no, from Osaka.
You need to find like, because Albany and Utica aren't like big cities really. You need to find like similar mid-sized cities, I think.
Yeah, it'd have to be smaller ones then, because like Kyoto, Kobe, and Osaka are pretty huge.
Hey, I just found out that you can do this in GeoGuessr.
Whoa!
The world has been opened to us.
Oh, good lord, I'm too easy to amuse, honestly. This is what people talk about when they talk about how millennials have no sense of humor. Just
Dogs can pet dogs? My mind has been expanded.
People used to criticize what they called purple monkey cheese humor, and now it's won out, really, when you think about it.
In some respect, yes, it's just like a gently modified version of
Have you
that.
ever seen any of those fucking, like, Hot Pocket box edits? That stuff is pure, like, LOL random humor. Not pockets! Nothing inside! Just bread!
I mean, I think that, like, part of it, like, what I remember that, like, really dumb article on millennial humor, and just, like, the thing that they don't understand is, like, half the joke is it's layers upon layers of references to different things, and that the humor is partly from the fact that the references kind of implode on each other.
Hey, guys.
Part of it is those references.
Welcome to Linton. You see what I mean?
Linton.
Linton. Doesn't that sign just tell you everything you need to know?
Linton,
Well, you
of
know,
course.
You can't spell Linton without lint.
Trey, what was that voice?
I have no idea.
Was like, I don't know what that was. It vaguely reminded
Yeah,
me
really.
of something from like a sitcom or something. What was going on over here? Does that say?
Remember, you can't spell Linton without lino.
Attention in work zones. And then there's a knocked over traffic cone on the billboard.
Do not question the cone.
I think it says
That cone lying on its side looks vaguely lewd.
you think everything is vaguely lewd.
Hazelton.
Everything is vaguely lewd.
I actually
Boy, you
live.
taught me well.
Holy, oh my! I think we might be in
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
Bismarck, we're in North Dakota.
Well, there's a Bismarck not too far from where I live, and there's also a Hazleton somewhere near there. Maybe it is in North Dakota, though. It could just be coincidence.
But if there's a Bismarck and a Hazleton near where you live, then it might be near where you live. Honestly, it does
Yeah.
look like Pennsylvania.
But Pennsylvania and North Dakota, I mean, actually, it's kind of
No,
flat
this-
for Pennsylvania. Now that I look around.
No. The thing is that North Dakota, the mountains would be even higher. This looks like the Appalachians, or maybe the Laurels.
My
Yeah,
great
no,
grandmother's
no.
name was Hazel.
Huh?
My great grandmother's name was.
Was what?
What was it? I'm trying to remember. My grandma's name is Diane. Her mom's name is.
My great
Minerva, I
grandmother.
No, Minerva.
Well, one of them
Mom.
was her nickname was Nibs.
Nibs.
Her name Nibs. Yes.
My grandfather always used to call my grandmom Dee Dee.
24 rooms, 1, 2, and 3 beds.
Yeah.
Cable TV.
TV.
I wonder if it has HBO.
No, they put that on the
Boom
sign.
Bucks.
That remember
Office.
that reminds me. I remember this one time we went down to Maryland, and there was this one hotel with a vacancy, and they advertised, I shit you not, electricity and running water
Oh my god, oh no.
on the sign. There was a third thing. I think it was like heating. Like,
Would they give us mead at reasonable prices?
mead?
Mead.
Mead? Mead.
MEAD.
No, I know, like Viking beer.
Yeah, honey wine.
Look.
Yes, I said would they give us meat at reasonable prices because it's like fucking medieval.
It's. Oh! I get it. Yeah, I don't know. It's either in North Dakota
How
or
do you
Pennsylvania.
not get that joke, Jane?
Well, when I think of mead, I pretty much only think of,
You only think of Vikings?
Yeah.
It's always Vikings with you, Jane. That's why we never talk anymore.
we literally
You
talk.
can use well, you can
No, you
use
don't
money to
understand,
buy.
Jane.
Fuck! It
You
was
don't-
in North Dakota.
Oh, fuck.
That gets one star.
Congratulations, you've played yourself.
I did.
Congratulations.
In fact, play myself.
Dun, dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
is there
dun,
anything else we need to know? We're
dun,
on Dolly Street.
So, let's see. What was I gonna
Street.
say? Mead can be used. What money can be used to buy much mead
Money can be
Because
exchanged for goods and services.
for goods and services.
Goods and services.
Uh,
Ooh, we are
That's
getting
actually-
fancy here.
that actually is my favorite. Like maybe my favorite like 1-bit gag from The Simpsons.
It's pretty good.
$5 can be used to buy peanuts. Explain how. Money can be exchanged for goods and services. Or it's donuts or something. I don't remember. The gist of the joke is money can be exchanged for goods and services. Did that say King of Prussia?
Spider pig.
No, it did not. I
Wait, it
misread.
didn't?
No, I completely...
Get closer to it.
No, that's, oops.
How come we don't ever hear about the Queen of Prussia, huh? Hashtag equality.
Actually, Prussia... I don't think Prussia had a queen. It was like... It was like set up stupid. I think they had like a
I'm
king
pretty sure-
and then like a reigning princess consort or something stupid.
Yeah, and also, I'm pretty sure Frederick the Gay... Sorry, screwed that up. Frederick the Great was actually
Frederick
probably...
the gay.
Probably gay, actually.
A Freudian
I'm
slip
serious. There was a, unfortunate, like, he and, well, as it's put, a close friend, but they seem to be more than close friends, tried to run away together when they were young from his abusive father, who was the previous king of Prussia. So said father caught them and had the friend beheaded.
Oh.
Well, that completely removed the humor
Yikes.
from that situation.
But then his son grew up to be a much better king than he ever was.
And that king's name? Frederick the
Frederick the
Gay.
Great.
No,
What?
it's Frederick the Gay now.
The gay.
I need to
Bolivar
take this
RD.
opportunity to bring up the fact that Pickle and Peanut are gay lovers.
I saw that on Tumblr earlier. I've never
love
seen
them.
I've never seen the show, but the GIF is literally, I think it's Pickle cradling Peanut's face with his hands and saying, "You are beautiful."
Yeah,
That's
that's
exactly what it happens in it, to my memory.
That is
Yeah.
that is decidedly gay, yes.
So what
Undertones.
happens first? Peanut actually put on like some zit cream, which actually makes you grow zits, but that's a moot point. But it like made his skin all smooth or whatever, and made him like grow giant lips, and then it's got him all shiny, and then after that, Pickle takes his hand to his Peanut's face and is like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." They've literally done at least one gag on the show where it's shown Pickle's internal thoughts, and it's got him and Peanut, like the van that Peanut drives, and it's got "just married" on the back of it. Pickle and Peanut, and you see the cans and everything, and then it cuts back to, and then it cuts back to Pickle in the real world smiling, and Peanut's like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing."
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Point
you
is,
really
they
are
are
off
gay,
there.
and I love them.
We were on
Yeah,
like
that's-
some kind of peninsula off the coast of Texas. Oh, there's a place called the Bolivar Peninsula. Okay.
Off the
Like,
coast of
Texas,
Louisiana.
Or is it? It's like right on the border.
Yeah, right on the border.
I guess you have to drive through Louisiana.
Oh, it
to
is
get there,
Texas, but barely. No, it's not. It's not Texas. Actually, it is Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to go there.
Spit.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if they.
A fit.
Whatever. Let's
It's a fit.
let's go like liberate the working class, and it'll be great.
Liberación.
I need to be careful because I've started dropping that into my speech casually as like a joke, but like my mom doesn't understand that it's a joke. So, you know,
Doesn't understand that what's a joke?
the liberate the working class thing.
Oh,
It's like, no, mom, it's
So-
just millennial humor. You don't understand.
Something unions.
I mean, on the one hand, it is a joke.
The
On other
concept
hand,
is not a
it's true.
joke, but saying it casually
But saying it randomly
is a joke. Yeah. Adopt a highway litter control. Next 2 miles. Casper College. Casper College Architecture Club. How thrilling. There's
Casper College Architecture Club.
there's the next
I want to be in a band named Architecture Club now.
there is a band called Architecture in Helsinki. I don't know anything about them,
Yes.
but
Who I
exists.
used to
Pretty good.
confuse often with Hrvatsky.
Do you guys ever wonder about how the fuck a country can be so big but have so many places in it that just look like this?
Yeah, I mean, that's just reminded me of the Talking Heads song "The Big Country."
Dust to
Which
the
is
left
about-
of me, wasteland to my right.
But basically, like, he's like David Byrne is just talking about like these areas, and like people going about their lives in like big flat states, and then and then on the chorus he sings, "And I wouldn't live there, you couldn't pay me."
I mean, I've heard that a lot of Europeans find this sort of landscape
Well, no,
depressing.
he's from Rhode Island.
But David Byrne's American?
Yup.
I don't know why I thought he was British. Well, I guess
have no
he's from New England.
But Tish.
Yeah, I don't know why. Now that I think about it, he has like no British accent whatsoever. I don't know why. Whatever. Anyway,
Well,
point is,
quite empty.
yeah,
This lonely, empty desert.
a lot of Europeans and also people from the East Coast find places like this fucking depressing, and I don't blame them. Because look, you could die here and no one would find you.
Yeah, my mom has actually made that not quite a joke multiple times. It's just like, there's nothing but ditches and corn. No one would hear you scream.
This empty desert
My mom
line is actually is actually the opening lines to Tiny and Big, which is set in like a bit more of a sandy type of like I guess you could call it like just burnt orange type of landscape, but still it's desolate and empty just like that, at least in the initial part,
Yeah. I mean,
before
like,
you get to the ruins and it gets interesting.
I mean, like, I live in the middle of fucking nowhere too, but at least there's like fucking trees where I live. I could like,
Yeah.
if I got lost in the woods, I could build a fire. You get lost out here, you're dead. Like,
But yeah, like my mom has kind of a dark sense of humor, but like yeah, she is like she has talked several times about like, I mean, on the one hand, it was her, belief that, at some point, this didn't really work out, but that we as a family, when we, before we all went off to college, that we would all go to, you know, on a road trip across the country, and to at least see what the rest of the country is like.
see,
And at the same time, she's like, I can't live somewhere that's flat.
like, the idea of a road trip across the country is cool until you consider the fact that that means you gotta go through places like this. Like, I don't even...
Where?
Through places like this. Like, I turned around and I'm
Sure.
not even sure which direction we were going in because it just looks...
Yeah, it's. I mean, on the one hand, there is kind of like a weird beauty to places like this, but on the other, you don't want to be there by any means.
Look at, like, this power line is, like, the only distinguishing feature I've seen for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that's like on the one hand, aesthetically, that's very cool, but at the same time, you realize if you were just standing out here, this would be the most fucking horrifying thing ever.
Oh, yeah. There's, like, a little part of Delaware that looks sort of like this. Except it's, sand over here, and then just, like, the fucking vastness of the Atlantic Ocean on the other side. That's also pretty fucking horrifying. And you only drive through that for like an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
It is
like,
beautiful, though.
In the daytime, it's beautiful. At night, it's
Yeah.
Lovecraftian.
yeah,
Oh.
like Delaware. Also, Delaware is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's just true in general. There's a popular vacation spot down there called Slaughter Beach, and I don't know. I mean, it's called Slaughter. Just like, what can you say at that point?
Laughter.
Slaughter what again?
Beach.
Slaughter Beach.
Yeah.
That sounds like a horror film name, by
It
the way.
does.
What I'm wondering is why is the adopt a highway sign? Why was part of it blurred?
I don't know. I think that's like an automatic algorithm thing, and it tries to blur out license plates.
Unusual.
What was
It's
that?
unusual.
What does this say? Forest. Oh, this is like a campaign sign. Do you see this fence? Somebody owns the land
Forrest
behind.
Murdoch, I might say.
It's something with an O, I think. But honestly, who cares? If you're running for election out here, I pity you. Who's gonna vote for you?
Hmm.
The jackalopes?
I mean, on the one hand, you probably don't have that much competition.
I guess so, but then...
There's a politician in North Carolina, the current lieutenant governor, whose name was Dan Forrest, but it's spelled with only one R.
which
Hey.
is actually unusual with last names. Ormsby Road.
There's an exit up ahead. Maybe we'll find an actual fucking town.
Um, but
You know what, though? Canada's even worse about this kind of thing. Only like half the country is inhabited. The
well,
rest
yeah,
is
but
just...
half the country is this and cold as
Yeah,
tits.
this, and then also there's elk. Which is worse.
Also, yeah, there's just moose. Moose.
Meese.
Did you know that they actually milk moose in Russia?
That's, like... I know that logically there's nothing weird about that, but it kind of seems weird
Ah,
anyway.
yes,
exactly.
Russian moose milk.
I totally understand what you mean. But yeah, like, elk as in moose, not as in, like, wapiti, which are big deer. But, moose, well, in
We
Russia,
might
they
have a
don't really...
state. Does anybody recognize the design of this road shield? It's like a pentagon.
I unfortunately don't. I feel like I've seen it before, but I can't place it.
I'm gonna bug Alice.
Something County?
I'm gonna bug Alice on Discord.
But,
This is a county
like,
road shield.
okay, like, so,
Fuck.
Ormsby.
Also,
but,
Highline.
oh god, what was I gonna say? So, what are they called? Okay, so,
Oh no!
Northern Dreams.
Uh,
Full circle.
Girls,
Oh,
girls,
God.
girls.
Oh no!
Oh my
You can
god.
get your girls
This-
with a side of girls. What? Eating
It's
your
a-
girls.
It's a gentleman's club.
This is
Gentlemen.
the real American Gothic, okay?
Yes.
Incidentally,
This
I was-
picture.
The empty parking
Just-
lot. On
Nothing,
it.
nothing, strip club.
Yeah, a strip club, an old, kind of worn down strip club in the middle of a void with just, like, slightly stormy clouds approaching in the mid-afternoon.
Northern
You
Dreams.
know, it was funny. The subject of gentlemen's clubs came up at dinner earlier because my best friend, I was showing them the money that I had, and like it was just a bunch of singles for some odd reason I'm not fully sure of, and I mentioned that it looked like I was gonna be headed to one of those, and
You're gonna
they said
make
that
it rain.
they said that I wasn't like I wasn't enough of a bad boy for that. I'm too good a boy.
You really are.
Listen, what's bad about supporting a local business?
Okay, true. And also supporting hardworking, strong, independent women.
Yes.
Heinz's calls it the best little whorehouse in wherever the fuck.
Oh, and here's the entire clientele. This house. Oh my god, how many people live here?
Oh my god.
How many people
Oh
live
my-
here?
I think that it's actually like the house for like a ranch, so it's the people who work there.
Maybe? But like there's one house and then two little... Fuck, dude, this is
It might
depressing.
be like the office for like a, whereas the actual house is somewhere else. Like, see, there's a house there.
This land is your
Well,
land. This land
that's
is
all
my land. This land was made for you and me.
Hey, all you need in life is...
Hey,
Is-
did you know that Woody Guthrie was a communist?
Yes, but what were you gonna say, Trey?
All you need in life in Bumblefuck is some monster trucks and some sexy women.
I mean,
That's all you need.
I just...
Glenn,
I mean,
I'm reading your comment, and that person...
I can't see the comments.
Oh no.
I encourage you to briefly tab over to the Twitch chat to read
I will
Glenn's.
see what is the haps.
You know
with
what?
the
Fuck it. I'm just gonna
Twitches.
read it because if I don't, then I'm doing a disservice to anybody watching the VOD. Quoth Glenn Mages Harvey, friend of the channel. I remember someone once reasoned that a paladin in Dungeons and Dragons with immunity to diseases would be obligated to do business with prostitutes in order to help them financially.
No.
Is to do what?
To do business with prostitutes
Oh
to
my
help
God.
them financially. To do business with prostitutes to help them financially.
How would they be earning the money?
You know what a
Because
prostitute
unless they're-
is, right?
No, if they're working as a prostitute to help them earn money?
No. The paladin is paying the prostitute. That's the gist of.
Oh, to help their business.
Someone asked why can't the paladin just give them money, and then the reply given was that's not lawful.
Oh my god.
Glenn, I really hope that you walked out of the campaign then and there.
Just then and there. It is only lawful that the paladin actually do some...
That sounds like
No.
something that would come up in one of those unlicensed third-party books about fucking. Of which there are
the book
several.
The book of erotic roleplay.
That is only the most well-known. There
I
are
know
multiple.
There must be others.
Fucking
Many
hate
others.
people.
What are the names of some of the other ones? Like,
I don't know. Probably a bunch of terrible alliterative puns, like succubi and sexiness or something.
just like, this was actually meant in a completely innocent way, was, that, the publisher Ballantine had its, and it was the first place that Lord of the Rings was published in the US, I think, was, their adult fantasy line. And I'm just thinking, like, the book of adult fantasy.
Guys, it's happening again!
At least there are hills.
I
At least
guess.
there are hills.
Maybe this is in Ohio?
At least there are hills, so we don't have to commit seppuku yet.
Hello, Bad Voltage. You've come in at an interesting time. Welcome to the channel if you're a first-time viewer.
First-time viewer, we're
We
playing
are-
GeoGuessr, and
We are talking about an anecdote our good friend Glenn brought up, wherein
in
an
which
acquaintance of his argued that a Dungeons and Dragons paladin is obligated to do business with prostitutes in order to help them financially. We are talking about this because we were in the middle of Bumblefuck Nowhere in GeoGuessr, and we came across a strip club in just the middle of the Great Plains.
and of course it was in Wyoming.
Of course
Like,
it was in Wyoming. Where else would it be? I was an idiot to put it in Oklahoma. Stuff happens in
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
it's like that depressing and that middle of nowhere. It must be fucking Wyoming.
This place, like, there's actually hay bales, which I didn't know that those were
Yeah,
real.
also, I will say, to give Wyoming some credit, there is Yellowstone National Park. It is beautiful there. But at the same time, it's fucking Wyoming.
Yeah.
There is no one in Wyoming.
Are there any large cities?
Here's
in
how
Wyoming?
Bernie can still win.
Oh, God.
Oh,
But, Wyoming literally only has 500,000 people in the whole state.
that's less people than live in New York City. That might be.
Yeah.
I don't. How many people live in Allentown? Let me look this up.
Allentown has more than that, I am pretty sure.
Allentown, Pennsylvania. For reference, if anyone does not know, the entire backstory of every person on this stream, which is completely reasonable. I live sort of close to Allentown.
Yeah.
Like,
And
half an hour,
I live near
45
Philadelphia,
minutes.
which is one of the largest cities in the country, so...
Population, actually, it's much smaller than I thought. Population 120,000.
Oh, wow, okay.
Still, that's...
Still, okay, look up Norristown,
Well,
Pennsylvania.
Norristown. I
Because,
forgot
like, I'm
Norristown
curious, because
existed.
that's the closest to me. Alrighty. Dun, 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 dun,
I know that
dun,
Raleigh
dun.
has almost 1 million people.
Literally just Googling things now.
Why Google you so? No, no, no.
Somewhere east of Yellowstone is a hand-built 3-story tower. It stands unfinished because the builder died. It is next to an inn and RV park that's actually a nice place to stay that's not too far from the park, while being much less expensive than staying in the park. The city is called Wapiti, Wyoming. Why couldn't we have landed there? That actually sounds interesting. Also, I think, like, Firefox just doesn't want to cooperate. Let's look it up on the other computer.
What the hell is going on here?
Norristown, Pennsylvania.
You have... I don't... I mean, obviously, you have never seen me, like, just flip the fuck out when something is taking forever to load on my computer.
Actually, the population of Norristown is even smaller. It's only about 34,000 people, apparently.
Huh.
Why did the stream stop? Glenn's
Like, I mean-
apparently been to Wapiti.
Like Norristown is apparently, like, the 4th largest city in the state?
That doesn't sound right. What about Pittsburgh? I mean, you gotta.
No,
you
that's
gotta
the
figure,
2nd largest.
You gotta figure
Pitts-
Philly, Pittsburgh, Allentown, Bethlehem's pretty big, although it's spread out,
Okay,
so you
it's-
don't really know.
It's up there
Raleigh
somewhere.
is the 2nd largest city in North Carolina. And then Lexington, I think, is somewhere like the 3rd or 4th largest in Kentucky. I don't know for certain on that one.
What's the largest city in Kentucky?
Louisville.
Oh, yeah.
Louisville is actually bigger than
Louisville.
Raleigh.
Okay, so we're in a place with a tree that we passed.
Channel name, Just One Tree.
And hey,
You guys don't use the Magic Planet server enough to know about Just One Gorilla.
oh no, I remember Just One Gorilla.
It's still there.
I don't
know.
because I mostly keep to myself over at In Search Of.
Just One Gorilla.
Yeah, like I have kept track of Just One Gorilla. And then why did you open Just One Gorilla, Jane? You should have left it at Just One Gorilla.
It was a a Christmas present for the server.
Okay, I can accept that.
You could have 5 or 6 gorillas, or just one.
Or just one.
5 or 6 stores is like avant-garde without meaning to be, and I really appreciate that. Shredney, are you
Honey,
familiar?
you've got a big storm coming.
Okay.
What is avant-garde without meaning to be?
5 or 6 stores, are you familiar with this?
I don't think I am.
It's a web video. Alright, so
Huh.
there's
A
backstory.
series of web videos. I think there are like 2 or 3, and it's like
Well-
people auditioning for like a commercial or something.
Yeah, so the story is, and I finally found out after much digging, there's an acting school in Ohio, I think, that used to do these back in the 80s or 90s or somewhere around there.
Huh.
And they would have people audition for these commercials, like fake commercials as part of an assignment. And I guess somebody kept the reels at least some of the reels and uploaded them to YouTube. And there's two versions. There's a shorter one and a longer one. I actually find the shorter one funnier, but it's just these people saying, first of all, the catchphrase, you could shop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one. And then,
it cuts to like a random shot of them, like probably a close-up of them saying some sort of other line from probably a monologue or a one act or something like that.
Oh dear.
It's great.
and you just, it's really, really good. I don't need friends. They disappoint.
So because of the decontextualization, it becomes hallucinatory.
Twin
Yes.
butts!
Twin
11 miles!
twin booties in
Twin
11
buttes.
miles. Or is it one
We've got-
and one for each butt?
I fucking
We've got
give
a
up.
nice butte.
And I don't think we can even go there. This road doesn't seem to. There we go. Okay.
The eternal question is, can I touch your butts?
I think I might actually know where I think it's Twin Buttes. I don't know. I think I might actually know where this is, like vaguely, because I think there's a. It's gonna sound absolutely idiotic, but I believe it is true. There's a city in Civilization 3.
Mm-hmm.
Civilization 3 that you found as the. Is it the Iroquois? It's the Iroquois. And it's named either Twin Buttes or something similar to that. It's one of the default city names.
And yay, he discovered the duality of the butts. She, because Jane, doing the discovering.
I went
Of the
and
duality
googled
of the butts.
I went and googled Golden Valley and Twin Buttes separately, and I got 2 different states that are not next to each other. What?
Maybe they're on the board. Oh wait, no, they're not next to each other. Okay. Huh.
Well, eventually we'll reach the twin butts, and we will understand.
Anaconda don't.
Well, none unless you got...
Buns, hun.
Well, no, I was gonna say, unless you got large rock formations, hon.
Nicki Mineralize.
Oh, man.
Cardi. Fuck, what's a rock word that starts with B?
By 2 minutes.
Basalt.
Cardi Basalt. You know where she at, you know where she be.
Cardi. I don't know. I'm just going to put us in, like, Montana, I think.
Sir Metamorphic Roxalot.
Wow, you really weren't that far off.
No, I guess not. Let's find Twin Butts on the map.
You were in another large empty state with mountains.
Where?
Hamilton.
There's a Walmart near here? Why?
A Walmart Supercenter.
Near Nutting Park!
That's... Do people go there to... Oh my. Oh my. I mean,
You guys
oh
wanna go?
dear.
You guys wanna go to Twin Butts and we'll go to Nutting Park later?
That is a rude proposition, Jane.
Fuck this round.
I
God.
have a girlfriend, goddammit.
God.
Nice butte.
No, I never want to see this map again in my life. We're gonna play another map, but I'm gonna go use the restroom first. I'll be right back. Unless you guys have somewhere to be.
I can be anywhere you need me to be. Except outside of where I am now, which is my bed because it's warm.
I'm
Because
good.
fuck the cold.
Deep. I'll be right back.
Actually, I have to use the bathroom quickly myself. So Trey, you're going to have to hold down the fort all by yourself.
All by myself.
Keep singing that until I come back.
I don't know any of the words besides
It
that.
doesn't matter. It gets the people going.
Ball so hard, motherfuckers gonna find me. That shit crack.
Okay, you can continue with that song if you please.
I don't even know, man.
Just improvise. Lay down some sick beats.
Boots and cats.
All right, that's a good start. I will be back momentarily. Just keep laying down those sick beats.
Glenn says mods are in the bathroom. Post salamander, and then linked to a spotted salamander, which I think I'm gonna try to click now. Yeah, hang on. I gotta copy it and then paste it into friggin' Safari. That's a salamander. It's black and yellow, like the Steelers. Steeler Nation. Let's see. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and. Hey Google, can you beatbox for me?
If you want a freestyle, my friend has you covered.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the power of having a smart speaker in your home. My friend Google, always providing me with probably unwanted surveillance and other entertaining affairs, such as beatboxing on demand. It's pretty good. If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a B ain't one.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no.
Oh god, my laptop fell off of my bed. It's okay, because it's, like, oddly resilient for an Apple product, which seem to break constantly, but still. Not exactly the most enjoyable of situations for a computer to fall off of one's sleeping arrangement place.
Good.
T Google. Hey Google, play me a beat.
My friend here can throw down some beats.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Da 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 da.
You guys okay?
I have a brownie fudge swirl Klondike bar.
Sure.
Me
Also,
and
that
my,
doesn't answer my question.
my smart speaker and myself are doing things because Shredney told me to drop some beats while you were away, so I decided to enlist my Google Home to help me out with that because I can beatbox, but I'm not particularly great at it.
Can you ask it a question for me?
Yeah.
Ask it to Google Twin Butts, Wyoming.
Hey Google, what's up with Twin Butts, Wyoming?
I don't understand.
Hey Google,
Me neither.
what's Twin Butts, Wyoming?
My apologies. I don't understand.
Damn it.
That thing is useless. No, I'm just joking.
I promise it actually works. Like, it answered what Homestuck was earlier, but still, none such luck on Twin Butte. Maybe I gotta say Twin Buttes. Hey Google, what's North Dakota?
Here is some information about North Dakota. North Dakota is a Midwestern U.S. state dominated by the Great Plains.
Am I gonna have to put, like, Google Voice as a co-host in the video description now?
Well, I have in the past used Siri to, like, speak sentences out loud for me. And I don't think that we listed her as a co-host before.
That's true.
So I think you're good.
You could have it as a featuring credit.
Yeah, that's my way of actually being funny, since I'm not particularly the greatest jokester in the world.
What if you were a great jokester? Rest in peace, DJ Rashad. Also, I had something I wanted to bring up earlier and I totally forgot to. Have either of you seen any anime this year yet?
What?
Anime.
Anime.
That. Yeah.
I haven't watched anything that's particularly new, although I did watch a couple of episodes of Hunter x Hunter a few nights ago.
Yay, good.
I'm up to episode 6 now.
That show is very well regarded, although I've never seen it.
It's pretty
I
good.
need to get back to Maid Dragon.
Two first shows of the season, both very promising. Further Than the Universe and the other one called Yuru Camp.
I heard earlier that Amazon actually rolled their streaming service for anime that used to be behind a paywall that you had to pay for in addition to your Prime subscription. They just rolled everything from it into regular Prime, so that's
thank
good.
God.
Yeah, that's good because like it gives me an excuse to watch Full Metal Alchemist again.
But
Cool.
yeah,
Good show.
I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I
So
wanted
Made in
to...
Abyss isn't behind a giant paywall anymore.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
if they still have all... I assume they still have all the same shows, right? They just, like... They dropped the Strike branding, and now it's just part of Amazon Video.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I think that they realized that people weren't really into paying for something again when Crunchyroll is a thing that exists and you can get it with Verve for significantly less than you would have to pay for Amazon and a subscription to Anime Strike, and B, it just wasn't particularly like well known. Like I hadn't heard of it at all until yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, people who know about Anime Strike tended to hate it because it was behind a double paywall, and on top of that, they tended to be really bad with simulcasting. I know last season, Girls' Last Tour was on Anime Strike, and the last episode was delayed by like 4 days or something.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Amazon doesn't strike me as being particularly strong in that regard, and actually, I really don't. I'm not into their app that they've got for video streaming specifically because like it's built in such a way where all of the video streaming content for Prime is in the same app as the stuff that you rent out, which sounds in theory like you would be able to have like a convenient place to watch everything Amazon related, but in practice it just feels like cluttered because you see stuff that's in the search results that you can only rent versus stuff that you can watch with your Prime subscription. It's really kind of a mess.
Yeah. I'm
So sort of
like
the general search function on Netflix.
I guess, yeah.
Like before.
I am like a horrible, cynical bitch, and I hate Amazon owning anything because I just kind of don't feel like any company should be in a position where they can own both a grocery store and an anime streaming service.
Yeah, that is understandable.
It's just stupid.
Amazon's ubiquity does bother me a bit too,
Like,
but
yeah.
but I also still have a Prime subscription because
I
that's
had like
just
I had like the free trial for a while and it was fine, but
yeah.
I if I'm doing anything with Amazon, I want to be like ordering something for my computer or whatever. Like I want to be buying a thing and having it delivered to my house. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go on Amazon to watch a movie. It just never occurs to me. But I don't know.
Well, it's helped my family out a couple of times. Like my sister bought a few things with it, late in December, and then I watched Danger and Eggs with it, which actually turned out to be one of my favorite cartoons that has been around for like a good couple years now. So, yeah.
Yeah, like from a consumer standpoint, it's great. I don't know. Like I said, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I like kind of hyper overthink everything like that, and it just makes me less able to enjoy things that I would otherwise.
Also, we're in Europe.
Yeah, we are. I did an EU map this time. We're like in Sweden, I think, maybe. Heinz points out that the people that subtitle for Amazon Strike, I guess now Amazon Video, tend to not be great at their jobs. I remember last year the subtitles for recreators were horrible and sometimes just like outright incomprehensible. And it really dragged down a show that like a lot of people already were giving a lot of shit, but I actually quite liked. But there's parts of it where if you watch the official subtitles, you just have no idea what the hell is being said. Like, it looks like it was like machine translated or something.
That's alarming.
Maybe we're in Germany?
What does it say? Go
like
back to the sign.
Fredericia.
Yeah, Fredericia Commune.
I'm gonna guess Germany specifically because of the lion thingy on the crest.
Yeah.
It could be Poland.
Could be.
Possibly.
But yeah, I don't know. Amazon. I mean, hell, I technically work for an Amazon subsidiary when I do this. Because Twitch, I think, Twitch is owned by Amazon, like, indirectly.
Yeah, that's weird to think about.
I really did think that Google was going to get it back when the rumors were flying around as to who was going to buy it.
We're really in the monopoly stage of capitalism.
Like, this is the same shit that was with, like, fucking industrial companies at, like, the turn of the last century. Most things are owned by Google, Amazon, or mostly just those two. Apple.
We don't want to go down this road of conversation
because
I'm just going to start sounding like Bakunin.
I don't know who that is. Okay. No, I mean, also, like, it's depressing, so... But what I was actually going to bring up was, I watched Further Than the Universe and Eurocamp this past week, and I really like both of them.
Good.
Further Than the Universe is interesting. Eurocamp is a pretty typical slice-of-life show about camping. That looks like it's going to be enjoyable. Further Than the Universe is about a group of schoolgirls going to fucking Antarctica. And it's like, I don't know how to
just as weird and lovely as that sounds.
Yeah, it's like really, really gung-ho about it. Like, you know, just
it's
drop
like,
out of school. Drop out of school and go to Antarctica. Just fucking do it. Like, it's really good though, and I like the protagonist a lot.
Wait a second. I'm reading. We are in Sweden?
Yeah, I was right the first time. Yeah, I deliberately
Ride.
like stayed on that sign a little bit so you could puzzle out what language that was.
Egg
We'll
That
say,
looks like
we'll say we're like
like
down here.
I think like it no like the O with a slash through it is like oh crap I can't remember if it's Sweden or Norway that does that.
Well, we'll put
Well,
us.
we're just gonna guess Sweden.
We'll find out. We were actually in Denmark,
Denmark,
but we
of course.
still
Of
did
course
we
it was
still
fucking
did pretty
Denmark.
well. So that gets 4 stars. It is quite melodramatic. What? Further than the universe? I wouldn't say that. Unless you're talking about Recreators, which it kind of is. Recreators is a weird show. For a lot of reasons.
Still need to actually watch Recreators, but I'm behind on everything from last year that isn't Made in Abyss.
Would either, well, I mean, most people either tend to like it a lot or fucking hate it, so, you know.
Yeah, and
you'll
also,
figure out where you stand pretty quickly.
Also, it's definite. I get kind of the same vibe, but, like, in a different way and more so from... And I've been meaning to actually watch this for, like, other reasons, is, Urahara.
Heinz finished Urahara, I think. I watched the first few episodes, but it kind of lost my interest eventually. Vopsk! I like this graffiti.
Varsk.
It's pretty nice.
Varsky.
Excuse me. But yeah, like... Urahara was weird, because it, like... I watched the first episode, it was like an advertisement for a product that doesn't exist, kind of.
Yeah, I got that kind of... Orange sponsors you!
Let's see. I know that Orange does business in France, and they used to in the UK, although these days they're known as Everything Everywhere because they merged with T-Mobile.
I think we might be in Paris, given that the
France.
word...
Yeah, that's...
the word Paris...
Cali.
The words
And
Paris
also
and
they have
Eiffel...
an ing word, which is directly stolen from English, so it's Paris. Now, if we could pinpoint where in Paris...
Nah, it's good. Look, 49.90 points. We were, like, literally across town. Check that out. 5 stars.
Hey.
Urahara is interesting, but not necessarily great. I found the first episode of Universe a little on the plate of emotion. I guess. Usually when people say something is melodramatic, I associate that with, like, negative feelings, whereas Universe... I mean, there's kind of the potential for drama. There's, like, a plot hook there, but it's very, again, like I said, kind of very gung-ho about its premise.
I feel like melodrama implies...
Can we stop at the sign?
Not necessarily a negative thing, but it means that, like, it means drama that is overblown rather than drama that is proportional.
Okay, so it's an English-speaking country, but it uses euros. Or at least partially.
Are we sure it's English-speaking? Look closely.
Maybe partially.
Diesel Plus... what's Euro Super?
So it's not England.
Let's move around a little.
I can't seem to go any farther this way. That leads out of town anyway. Let's go back. Let's see if I can take a look at the sign first. Ow! Wesbert.
What? Uvasbert. That looks like Dutch.
Maybe.
That's Dutch.
Perhaps we are in the Netherlands. The land of my... No, you're right. This is Sluitelmarkerij.
Sluitelmarkerij. Zonaton.
Do they speak English in Amsterdam?
Well, there are a lot of words that are very similar to those.
And, like, there's a lot of, tourist stuff in Amsterdam and to a lesser extent Rotterdam.
Dugblood Boutique.
Fun fact for the
Dog
viewers
blood
of
bleach.
Fun fact for the viewers of the stream who may not know, I was actually born in Holland. My parents were on vacation, and I came early.
Neat.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the hospital, but I have my birth certificate around here somewhere. I can check one of these days. My dad was visiting family there, and that is how that happened.
Mayfield something.
Yeah. Either Dutch or German. It's a little hard for me to tell, despite my heritage. I don't actually speak either language.
I mean,
Those are-
Dutch is easier to tell because it's like
It looks
it's
more
got
like
stuff
English, yeah.
but it also has
Usually-
like the weird stuff like IJ,
Yeah.
which is a distinct sound.
Double J's are a telltale sign, too.
Yeah,
It's actually
and
its
like
own
just
letter
the
Dutch.
like there are cadences which are to the letters which are distinctly Dutch or German.
Glenn raises a point, it might also be Belgian. The two are pretty
It could be
similar,
Belgium, but it looks more. I think it's the Netherlands.
Yeah. This lady kind of looks
Ergo.
like my Aunt Donna.
Because, like, the Flemish part of Belgium is
Stadsomvaart. Yeah.
Stadsmovaart.
Actually, if we can
Stadsomvaart.
get a look at who this statue is of, that might help. It's like, hey, William the First, then we'll definitely know. I can't read the engraving from here, unfortunately. It looks like it says Louis something.
I can't make it out either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too tiny.
Luger.
Okay. Oh, that was useful back there. Go back, just for a sec, so I can look at that sign there.
Let's see.
Glenn says the Belgian bit was based on the URL having a .b domain on the sign for the restaurant.
Restaurant.be?
Yeah.
Okay, then we should be looking in the Dutch-speaking part, the Flemish-speaking part of the Netherlands. Flanders, which is north.
Well, if it's a
North
.be,
Belgium, like Antwerp,
yeah, like
that
Antwerp,
area.
Yeah. What's this place
Said
called?
it was a
Ghent.
Belgian
Antwerp
construction
or
company,
Ghent.
maybe?
Like, put us in Schoten for now. Like, what's this place called? Wallonia? Or is
Yeah, that's the south part. That's the south part, and that's
Right,
the
and
French.
What's
Well,
the
it's not
northern speaking
French.
part?
They don't
then?
speak French. It's Walloon, which is a type of French, sort of.
You know what they say, a language is a dialect with an army.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, but like, part of it is it doesn't sound.
For about 2 seconds, I thought that those statues were not horses, but velociraptors. Which would have been the fucking greatest statue of all time.
That statue looks vaguely familiar.
Unfortunately, I can't seem to get a look at it that's not obscured by either the light or the stop sign, but there you go. Study
yeah,
that
like
for a second if you want.
the horses, that looks vaguely familiar.
There are quite a few statues that look like that, to be fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're in the Spanish Netherlands, as they were known back in the day when Spain was in control of them.
Shout out to the emote on my server that it looks like.
Yeah.
Actually, I have it on this channel
Hasselt!
too.
No, we know where it is now. Hasselt.
Live in Hasselt.
Hasselt is not a small city.
You guys see it?
I mean,
on
not
here?
a super small city. It's in the.
There it is.
Ah, there it is.
Hasselt.
Boom. Wow, we
Hey.
actually got closer to
Holy
that than we did in the
shit.
Paris
Wow.
sketch. We were like literally down the street.
Holy
Pretty
fucking
good.
shit.
5 stars. Boom.
Not bad.
I like
They
this
seem
piece
to be
of
pretty
graffiti.
good at
That is a good piece of graffiti there.
Oh no.
They seem to be pretty good at letting you actually figure
Oh
out.
wait, let me look at that
Um,
graffiti again.
Wow, that is a big blur.
Well, let's turn it around and let me look at that graffiti again.
Okay.
Other than the giant censored building. Oslo Kessel?
It's probably slang, or maybe even just somebody's tag.
Yeah,
There's some.
but I mean that would be helpful.
Bevoner.
Bevoner. Oh, let's see.
Monday through
Oh,
Friday.
wait a
Anybody-
second. It said Franks. FR Franks. That means we're in Switzerland.
No, that says Monday through Friday.
Oh, Monday through. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
like
that.
MO through FR.
Is anybody else reminded of the
Can
like
we
war
talk
videos
about
videos
this?
by-
though?
There's a video. I think it might be for "Come On Eileen" by Dexy's Midnight Runners that has like a co- a corner building that's like painted like orange, I think, in the video, and it's like the iconic thing that everybody remembers. I don't know if it's like
Huh. I think it is for
particular
come on,
place.
dude.
What is this?
That is inexplicable.
It's an unidentified flying object. It looks
It's
like a
a-
tiny tank. Just kind
It's a
of.
fucking UFO, man.
Was somebody like.
Now I know what Guillermo del
Oh,
Toro
no,
meant when.
No, oh no, it's like, oh, when he said that it was shittily designed. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's one of their power lines.
Like, I guess it's like one of those things that they string up to, like.
Yeah.
Like
something.
prevent an airplane from crashing into it, but it doesn't really seem necessary out here.
But it really does look kind of stupid. Let's
It-
keep wandering around.
I
I'm
really.
just saying big tell, although I can't really.
Like the giant censored house.
Like, what could this possibly be that they needed to go in and manually censor it? DHL. What's D-
well, it
oh,
could be-
oh, we're in Germany. DHL.de.
I mean, okay, so, I mean, the reason why, it could be censored because, I don't know, it's
Government
We're in,
building of
like,
some kind.
some kind of red light district.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Or,
I mean-
I don't know, it's the residence of some very important person.
Brot. Fear die
Brot
Welt.
für die Welt.
Yeah, we're definitely in Germany. One fighty boy.
Brot for the world.
Deutschland tankt auf.
€1 for a liter.
Okay, there is parking.
Hey, I kind of want to go to this place.
Videothek.
Videothek.
The world of video entertainment, I think that means. I
Yeah,
kind of
it
want to go
looks-
there.
It looks like the world of video entertainment.
I bet they have anime there.
That would be good. Although German dubbed anime would be pretty bizarre. Also, there's the German dub of Naruto.
Ninja Clan,
Naruto.
Ninja Clan.
Dear Lord. Oh, and also, in the German dub of Digimon Tamers, they make Renamon male.
Hey, you guys want to go to the Asia Center where they have all the Asian things?
Gross.
Asia Center.
Einzelhandel.
Asia Center.
I think this is like
Center.
like New Age store.
Oh my. That's.
Cafe Petit.
Oh, I like the
Petit.
Cafe Bright.
Cafe.
Bright some
Bar.
Bright bar.
There's a lot of ads for this Brot place.
I think
It's
it's a
like a-
kind of donut.
Well, I mean, I think Brot is just the general German word for bread, but I imagine that it's the name of like
Oh.
a bagel shop or donut shop or something.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, also, I feel... as soon as I heard the word melodrama mentioned, Lord's green light got stuck in my head and it hasn't gone away.
I'm waiting for it. That green light. I want it.
Dear Lord.
One girl on Diddy's reality show that premiered last night performed that, and Diddy hated it because
Oh, dear.
he wasn't feeling it like at all.
Yeah, well, Diddy's an asshole.
Cafe bar.
Something, Sirach.
He killed Biggie, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
Okay. Zers.
I'm going to leave the question of whether or not I actually believe that open for the viewers to decide.
Oh dear.
Is she serious? Is she joking? They may never know.
Südstadt? Stadt?
I think that's just the name of the street.
I know, it's south. Well, that means
South Street, yeah.
City. South City.
Yeah, I guess so.
Meisel and Beck.
South of this town.
You know what kills me is I know for a fact, because Germany has really restrictive, restrictive on the part of the companies, privacy laws. There's only a fairly small part of Germany that's mapped on Google Street View. So we have to be in like one of a very small amount of specific places, but I don't know where.
I do. There is a part of me that's hoping that we're in Berlin specifically because the Black Pants have like one of their 2 studios there, and the other one's in Kassel.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
This knowing that we're in
it's
Germany.
because I think it's again because of like the privacy laws and stuff.
Yeah, knowing that this isn't, you can probably like opt to have your home or business censored in Google.
That
Street
makes
View.
sense. I mean, that makes more sense than like, the smuttiest building ever.
Sushi and Asia Kuche. I could never do that sound.
Küche. You make an E sound, an E or an I, and then you round your lips at the same time.
My some of my
Küche.
It's
relatives on my
interesting.
mom's side.
That word's spelled pretty similarly to a musician I like whose name is Kutska. Although I'm not actually fully sure where she's from. Although I know that her name is spelled with one of the same like little symbols underneath the C, the way that it is on acai. I think.
Oh, the weird like little hooks. I forget what those are called.
That's called a sadia.
I don't practice Sadia. I ain't got no language degree.
Oh, God.
Miracles Bar.
I want to go to a miracle bar.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
Let's start a nuclear war in the gay bar, gay bar, gay bar.
Lotto! Go buy a lottery.
Lotto.
Bossinger.
I actually have a funny story to tell. Our neighbor, God bless her, she works at a gas station, and they sell lottery tickets there. And something she does is that a lot of these lottery tickets have like second chance entries on them that you can like type into their website and whatever and get a second chance to win the jackpot. So what she will do is she will go through the trash in her workplace and pull out tickets that people tossed out without entering the second chance thing.
My dad does that too, and I've always thought that it's a little weird, but I don't have the heart to say
It's
that.
really weird, yeah. Also, it seems like the navigable area just kind of ends. Oh, never mind. Here we go. Maybe not. I like this place a lot. The Fruit House.
Shell Fruit House.
You guys want to go get some fruit at the Fruit
House.
Hey, there's just a Woolworth here. I like that.
Woolworth.
And also a place called Backwerk.
Put your back into it.
German is such an absurdly dumb language. I'm
Teppichboden.
half German, I'm allowed to say that. Schnell Restaurant Cristal. Is that just like
Kaiser.
I can't remember what Schnell means.
It's like go quickly. So I guess that's like a Schnell restaurant would be like a fast food place.
Ah, okay.
That's my guess. I don't know for sure.
What's it say up top above that road on the bridge? What did it say?
Kaufhof.
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 As one
Kaufhof.
does.
Kauf. Is that like a... No, that's Kopf, is head. Kopf.
L'orso bianco.
It's an Italian restaurant, I assume.
Beer.
Yeah.
Beer
Beer.
is good.
Pure is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of my relatives on my mom's side of the family speak like fluent German, and it honestly just sounds like gobbledygook to my ears.
Beer is good. Here is good.
Gandhi
here is
Asia
good.
Shop. That's an interesting name for your restaurant.
What is it called?
Gandhi Asia Shop.
Oh my.
And this
Oh,
is
no.
Oh,
Hey,
we're in
Afri-
Nuremberg. We're in
or
Nuremberg.
Africa.
Okay, thank you.
Nuremberg. Okay, that simplifies things.
There we are. I believe that Nuremberg and Nuremberg are the same place.
Yeah, that's the same place.
Yay!
Nuremberg.
5 stars.
Hey.
We
We got the points.
we got one more, and then after this we will call it for the evening.
Call it for the night. And
Call it for the evening. Call it for the evening.
Glenn wanted us to zoom
Sorry.
into the flag location.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
It was
We'll have
pretty close.
We'll have to do it
Plymouth
When-
Haven.
when we see all of them again.
Are we in Germany again?
Neustädter
Yeah, we're near
Wildmotorhausen.
we're near Oldenburg. That's like okay.
That's helpful.
Drawing on my EU4 knowledge, the Principality of Oldenburg is like I want to say it's up here, like near yeah, here it is. It's near that. And we're on Route 28, and it's, how many miles is it from where we are? Or not miles, kilometers. 6.
Or 28.
28
No,
kilometers.
28's the name of the route.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 6
Okay, so it's
kilometers.
So
six
we're like,
kilometers out.
I don't know how big a kilometer is on the map. We'll say we're like here. Boom.
Hey.
Oh, we were in Bremen.
you out.
Okay, we were in the other direction, but still. Look at that. We did way better on that than we did in the American one.
Because it put us in, like, cities and stuff that
Yeah.
actually have, like, populations
Yeah.
and road signs.
Alright. That was Shapes and Forms. Yeah. Shapes.
Forms and shapes.
Shapes.
We're shapely informed.
Oh, like Gogo said, Germany's got, we mentioned this earlier briefly, but Germany's got, like, really stringent privacy laws. You are allowed to have your house, or I think also your business, blurred out on Google Street View.
Ghosthouse.
Ghosthouse.
Geisthaus.
Roadhouse!
Geisthaus. Roadhouse.
Alright, we have fun here. Tomorrow, you can catch me here at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be with my girlfriend Cece Rise, and we will be streaming Princess Minerva, which is a Super Nintendo era RPG that was recently translated into English. It is apparently very lesbian, so I'm told.
Oh dear, what is it called again?
Princess Minerva.
Oh.
And apparently also, like, buggy as fuck, so that'll be fun. And then the second half of our show tomorrow, we will be streaming Super Mario Black Candles, which is a fan game created by a friend of the channel. I don't know if we'll actually finish both of those in the future, but we're going to at least check them out, and hopefully we'll finish them, like, in successive streams. So, yeah, that's our show for the evening. Thank you guys for coming and keeping me company on this cold winter night. I believe it is about 10 degrees outside right now. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome, Go-Go. No MS Paint today? No, I only do that sometimes, and right now I'm like kind of, Yeah.
Now
no.
that we have the thumbnail, that's our permanent thumbnail, you don't really need it.
Yeah. Although, if I ever start streaming from the Hewlett Packard instead, I'll have to show off Paint 3D because that program is interesting to say the least.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's us. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Good luck.
As a final note, if anybody would like to talk, I'm probably going to pop over to the VC channel on the Magic Planet server in a little bit. See you there. Bye.